And we couldn't get it turned down.
You can get it turned on.
I couldn't get it turned down. And we are live, and the doors of the sanctum have been unlocked and open for the week. Welcome everyone back to the Sanctum Sanctorum. I am your illustrious host, Widow Sun. With me is one of my awesome co-hosts, Splicer87. A little bit of technical difficulties right there at the beginning, but hey, that's the wonder. It's like I always used to say about the radio business: things happen. So,
Episode 90, baby.
Yeah, that's another thing. Today is our 90th episode. So that means that here in just the next few weeks, we are going to be at number excuse me, number 100.
Bro, that's like still 10 weeks away.
Yeah, I know, but still things can as sporadic as our schedule has been, we may hit it before we know. But I'm going to try to start I'm going to put some feelers out, and I'm going to see if we can't have a big guest or a big array of guests to come and join us for this huge milestone that we're approaching. To be honest,
like basically everybody.
Well, I mean, if I could fit 10 people in here, trust me, I would.
Just have it be 8 hours long instead. They can just rotate in and out.
Oh, good Lord. No, I was actually, I was watching Miss Vendetta, Miss Vila Vendetta yesterday. And then I noticed like early in the morning here, like she was still live, and I looked at the chat, or not the chat, but the video, and it was like 10 hours. And I'm like, wow, I don't know if
do it, dude.
I don't know if I'd actually be able to fucking stream for that long.
Well,
but
eat on camera basically, but
yeah, well, no, that's not gonna happen, not until I properly acquire my actual robe. I'm actually looking at a hooded robe with the mask and everything over it.
For the full-on freaking kit. Heck yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Then maybe one of these days I can afford a good camera and a green screen. I can just put a temple behind me, and all will be right with the world.
I mean, I'm sure a decent camera isn't too bad. I mean, you're gonna get a super high quality. You're not looking for this, Hollywood level camera. Potato. Sure, man.
Well, no, as everyone noticed, like I had announced earlier that we were actually going to be going live at 6, but Sir Splicer here has got some things coming up behind the scenes that he's got to take care of, and so we just cut in a little early.
I'm just super busy.
Deep in the shadows.
Got some good plans.
Oh, well, one step at a time, man. Just get everything
step at a time.
Exactly. Or one toke over the line, sweet Jesus. One toke over the line. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button for us. It really helps us out. Hit that subscribe button, get the notification bell on. Come and join us every week and see what kind of shenanigans we seem to get into every week here in our weekly gatherings. Splicer, I know you've got a lot coming up on your plate, but other than that, how you been doing, man?
Yep, I am taking care of myself these days. Been a very, very eventful past few weeks. Just trying to take care of myself. That's kind of what this is. It's all about some self-help type of stuff.
Hell yeah.
Going to figure things out, like you said before, one step at a time. I plan to move. It's going to be a good time.
Well, certainly we are definitely with you in spirit while everything is going on. You know that if we all kind of lived within reasonable distance of each other, I'm sure we'd all be willing to come help you. But sadly, that's not the case.
Power of the internet.
Indeed. If we see, this is why we need teleportation. It just makes things so much easier.
I was talking to people about that, like people scheduling for the holidays and stuff.
Right?
Why can't we just all teleport to each other's places, man? Like, think how easy Christmas dinner would be if you could just open your place up to your friends. They'll just zap themselves in, eat all the food, no leftovers.
Well, the thing about with the holidays coming up, I mean, and it's rapidly approaching. which is crazy. Like, where in the fuck is, like, everybody was like, where did 2020 go? And like now we're, kind of like, where's 2021 going? As the world has been over the last couple of years, well, actually the last several years, um, man, that I don't know if it's just because you and I are older, and it's
Sure.
just like everything's speeding up because time seems so slow when you're a kid. But I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if it's just like the adult mentality and the way of thinking,
You're
or
not in the
what
grilling
it
hours of the
is.
classroom at the grilling hours at a workplace.
Yeah, that's for sure. Uh,
It depends
no.
what you do though. If you enjoy what you're doing, that's probably what happens. Because like I still enjoy what I do as a tech person. So
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, I work nights, and the nights can kind of drag on just a little bit,
yeah, I don't know what
But
that's like, man.
yeah, I know, because you're not.
I got one of those comfy desk jobs.
Yeah, where you get to go home at night and all that shit.
But being
Um,
on call 24/7 can be uh quite interesting.
that's very true as well. Um, I mean,
Salary
I'm,
job.
I'm honestly, I'm really just kind of feel sometimes like sleep deprivation, light deprivation, time, just all kinds of slips away from me. Especially when I don't sleep.
Hmm, hmm.
Because my schedule has been so crazy lately, it's just thrown everything off as far as my sleep goes. Um, but somehow I still managed to pull it out. As a matter of fact, I mean, shit, I've been laid up the last 3 days. Um,
Yeah.
if anyone who follows me on Twitter actually saw, like, I ended up in the emergency room Saturday, um, with severe lower back and joint pain, and apparently I now have sciatica. So, or I have had it and just never had a flare up, but this is the first time that happened, and so I've been laid up for the last couple of days. My right ankle and foot and pretty much all the back of my right leg is completely numb,
Oh my.
um, from the nerve trying to heal, kind of trying to heal itself, and it's been really weird trying to walk because
I can
no,
imagine.
well, it kind of feels like it constantly feels like I'm like stepping on something that's just a little bit uh, like elevated, like like dress shoes or something. They always have that kind of little flat heel in the back of them. It kind of feels sort of like that, but in all the research that I did, um says it can take 2, 3, 4, 5 days before everything kind of starts settling back in. So yeah, it's been a very painful like 72, like almost 72 hours for me.
Hmm. Wow. Uh unfortunately this is not just a flesh wound.
No, it isn't. I mean, 3 herniated discs in my lower back, uh two of them removed and replaced with oh, what was it? Was cement. Like, they like literally went back in and rebuilt two of the discs. Um but yeah, I mean, it's been cool for the last 10 years. And then, as
Hmm.
silly as it's going to sound, um I'll explain what happened. And like I said, it's silly as it
Oh
sounds.
man, here we go. Story time.
Story time. Um, so, as everyone knows, I have cats, and I have my oldest one. Her name is Fiona, and she weighs somewhere between like 11 and 12 pounds. And one of her favorite things in the world to do is sleep on me, specifically like on my hip or my side or on my shoulder at any given time. Well, I woke up one morning, and she was asleep on me, which is no big deal. So I told her, told her to get down, and I went to stand up, and it literally just felt like somebody had shoved a knife into to my lower back, and it was just real sudden, and then it kind of just started going away, and I thought maybe she just laid on me wrong, or she stepped somewhere done something to my hamstring or something like
I
that. I
doubt it
don't
was the
know.
cat.
Huh?
I doubt it was the cat.
I may have. And now that I think about it, I was kind of sleeping in an awkward position as well.
Okay.
Um,
I
and
was like, how
because I
large is this cat, dude?
well, I mean, she rules the roost, and so if she wants to jump on to me or just walk on me, it's her decision. I have no say in that. I
Oh,
have no
really?
say in that. Um,
Hmm.
but it started feeling like it was going away, and then let's see, I was off Friday, and I woke up in the middle of the night to that entire leg and that side of my lower back just screaming at me, and I ended up in the emergency room with all of it. So
Oh yeah. Sheesh.
I'm gonna and like I said, it's never happened before. I'm just gonna really do whatever I can to avoid another flare up because I can't handle another
Mhm.
one.
In the
uh,
meantime, do we have any topics for today?
well, I was actually going to ask you about, because I've been seeing Wanderer talk so much about it. Have you tried the new Halo?
I have only played a few games of Halo Infinite actually. I kind of wanted to wait for updates to make sure they got a few of the issues that other people have been complaining about. There's been a lot of like issues with how your level ups are, like how you progress through the game's multiplayer. I have not played the new campaign because I know Wanderers was talking about the campaign, but
Right.
I'm kind of like I didn't purchase the campaign. My friend did. I didn't want to see too much on it. I watched Wanderers first like maybe 30 minutes to an hour of it, and I just didn't want to touch it from there. I'm not a humongous Halo person, so it's just kind of one of those things where I also haven't been home and haven't had time to make anything on it.
Well, I knew the reason I was asking is because I know that you are, Fallout and
Yeah, yeah, it kind of
all
has
of
the
that
same
stuff, and
sci-fi feel to it. Yeah, but
right. To me, it all call with the to me with the exception of just some are on both systems, some are just on one, this, that,
yeah.
and the other. It all kind of falls under the same category to me.
Well, it's funny because I am an Xbox guy, but the reason I was an Xbox guy is only because Call of Duty used to be like the shit on Xbox.
Hmm.
But after that, like deal with PlayStation for Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, people have not like done it since. Maybe not advanced. It was after that. It was like yeah, they like switched consoles like the next year.
I honestly, I've never played any of the Call of Duties,
Oh
but
man,
there is one that I would like to try, and that is the Call of Duty. What was it, World War Two or WW2
oh
that they put out?
that's newer. Yeah, no man, just play World at War. That one's better.
Like I said, I've never played any of them.
Yeah, so if you want like so obviously most Call of Duty campaigns are World War II.
Hmm.
Like they're supposed to be this like gritty World War II experience, but also still a fun, just fun time. No, I like World at War the most. That's Call of Duty 5, by the way. So it's called Call
Oh,
of
the
Duty
world.
5 World at War. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they don't really have the number. So it was right after COD 4, and you know how like COD 4 has this like big following behind it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So uh usually back in this time period, this is like the PS3 Xbox 360 days. So there was like there were two companies that would make the games, like two developers. There
Hmm.
was Infinity Ward and Treyarch. Um, Treyarch had made Call of Duty 3, then Infinity Ward made Call of Duty 4, and they would rotate off that back and forth until Call of Duty World War II, ironically.
Um,
So Treyarch made World at War, and Treyarch campaigns are the best campaigns, in my opinion.
I've been curious to try the Call of Duties.
They're expensive to get into.
Well, I mean, you know me. I don't play online. I would just play
They
the
never drop
campaign.
their prices, bro. Just like paying $60 just for a campaign is a lot. If you can get like an old
Well,
used copy of Black Ops for like $2 at a
I mean,
GameStop.
I would. Well, I mean, definitely, I would buy a used copy. But like the DLCs and everything like that, no. I mean, if I can find something for free, maybe. But no, it's ridiculous.
Sorry, man. I don't carry PS3 discs.
Oh yeah, you think you're too good to buy discs
I
anymore?
bought a PS3 just to play Sly Cooper. So
I
yeah,
mean, dude, you could have just gotten an emulator for that.
it doesn't work. I have one.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
I
wait a minute. We have a guest.
Oh, cool.
Jello, what's up, man?
Hello.
Good morning.
Good
Good
afternoon,
morning.
good evening, and good night.
Yeah, I just woke up, so same thing, you know.
That's the spirit, bro. I had a friend like
Whatever
that.
the case may be in whatever part of the world you're in.
Yeah, man. I had some guy that would always get on at like 5, 6 p.m. So like, good morning. All right. Sure. Lives in
No.
my own time zone.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, as we all know, those of us who interact with Jello pretty regularly, he lives in his own time zone, in his own time
That's the spirit.
space. And I wish we could
I'm
all do
not
that.
into time, man.
Time is always remember. Time is a flat circle. Jello, how's it been going, man?
There's a really cute audience participation line from the Rocky Horror Picture Show where people start dancing around in a circle going, "Life is an illusion, life is an illusion." And then the voice, the narrator's voice says, "There are those who say life is an illusion." It's a great line. I just love that one.
Well, Tool practically said the same thing. We are eternal, and all this pain is an illusion. So that kind of, that actually does kind of make sense. Oh man. So Jello, I can't remember. The movie that you sent me, I plan to watch tonight. I'm gonna watch the movie you sent me, but I
I need
have.
everybody to start watching it. It's unbelievable.
I
I'm
didn't
gonna
watch
I'm
any
gonna
of
try to spread this movie like a goddamn
I,
virus.
what's the name of it again? It's in my Discord DMs, but I can't
Windy
recall.
City Heat.
Windy City Heat. And I've been watching that guy's streams a little bit more here and there.
It's free on YouTube. I highly recommend it. Don't just put it on in the background and don't listen. Read the very beginning of the movie has subtitles, and you'll if you read those subtitles, you'll understand what's going on in the movie. If you
Mhm.
watch the first 3 minutes of that movie and decide it's not for you, turn it off. Turn it off. Give it 3 minutes.
I've
It's
I've
really
been watching a lot of the live streams though. The live streams get me,
cool.
man. Um, what was the one from the other day? It was something about a dog food scoop.
Oh, that was great.
Oh my god,
His
that
meltdowns are so good, and that dog food meltdown was just mwah, chef's kiss.
you may want to explain who we're talking about, the Splicer. I think
Yeah, yes,
Splicer
please.
might get a kick out of him.
Uh, okay, so it's the most angry person on the internet, I guess. The most delusional and
Besides Von Helton.
unintelligent little man ever created. He's very much like a Von Helton or a Gary. Like yeah, he's much like the people that I like to watch. And he
And
gets
you,
very angry. He gets very angry. You can tell this is somebody that has gotten his way much of his life by A, not being around people, and B, screaming until he gets his way.
yeah,
my.
definitely. That stream that you showed me last week, where he was standing in his apartment, it's the middle of the night. His patio door is open, and he's literally walking around and he's screaming. So the guy who's apparently, and you said it's his director, is that right?
Yeah.
um has him like the little party poppers, like has him popping those off in the middle of the night with his patio door open. And
Those are actually like super chats that are coming in where
mm,
people are paying him money. They call them like stunt offers.
oh, okay.
And they have him do ridiculous stunts. Like they'll send him a jar of pickled eggs and then like pay him $5 at a pop or $10 at a pop to hide eggs around his apartment.
Oh my.
They tell him it's so that he can just, have himself a little Easter egg hunt after the show.
Oh,
But really the goal is to get him to forget about it so that he just has rotting eggs around his apartment.
oh no.
Oh no, one no. They had him. One was they had him tape an egg to his ceiling.
So who is this guy?
His name is Perry Caravello.
Okay.
You wanna can we can you play the trailer or something like that? Would that be okay?
Yeah. Maybe not. You have to
I don't wanna
pause
get
it
you in
halfway
trouble.
through. Yeah. So
Yeah.
YouTube rules usually it's kind of hard to do it.
Yeah, I don't know how the rules work, so it's an ass. Yeah.
No, the one thing that got me about the little party popper things that he was doing is they had him yelling at the top of his at the top of his loud, yippee ki yay every time he fucking did one of them, and I have never seen anything like that before. Because honestly, I thought until Jello explained it to me, I honestly thought it was fake. I really did. I thought it was that this guy's an actor. They're clearly doing this and it's well done and people enjoy it. So they're, super chatting and all this other kind of stuff. But then when Jello explained it to me, I'm like, that fuck, dude, seriously?
There's one part where I was like, there's one clip I saw from his live stream that really had me going, wait, maybe the joke's on me, because they had him in a Sailor Moon costume.
Oh my God.
All right.
Which is like just a pair of boy shorts, some cuffs around his wrists, and the neckerchief, right? And he's like a fat middle-aged dude. So he's got like man boobs hanging out and shit. And they had him go because he's in an apartment complex, and he's got they set him up with a closed circuit TV. They got like a Ring camera outside his door, so they can like see when people come up to deliver stuff.
Yeah, because you told me they send him food.
Oh, all the time, like the whole stream long, they'll be sending him like 20 orders of McDonald's, and he just sits there and screams the whole time.
Okay.
But he goes out. They tell him he has to go out into the hall and lay down on the floor with his hands behind his head and his feet crossed and whistle a happy tune for 2 minutes. And while he's out there, just whistling a happy tune, his neighbor comes home, and they're like, "Are you okay?" He goes, "Yeah, just working." And he's just laying there on the floor. I'm just working. Oh man,
Just working.
Rev popping into my mind. Can you imagine work?
He oh my God, what was the they had him put on that tutu, that one you showed me, and for some reason they had him put 5 eggs in his, because he always wears a fedora. That's one thing I've noticed.
Oh, his look is amazing.
Splicer, I'm sure you're looking at it right now.
He wears a fedora, khaki shorts, a fanny pack, and he tucks his t-shirt. Like that's his look. That's his thing. He tucks his t-shirt into his khaki shorts. He's got and he's even got an oversized fanny pack. That's insane. The guy's ridiculous looking, and that's his look.
Him raging is very. It kind of reminds me a little bit of just like the emo that I've watched. he doesn't appear to get dick out angry though.
No, no, but
Hands
like
relaxed.
Emo's rage is he tuckers himself out so quick. This guy just doesn't stop. He can rage for like 20 minutes straight and just scream till he's red in the face. You're just like, well, he's gonna have a stroke this time.
It's oh my god, the eggs under the hat is what got me, because at one point on the stream that Jello and I were watching, he one of them broke, and the yolk is just running down his face.
The side of his face,
Yeah, and then
yellow down his cheek.
and then it's like starts to dry, and the director asks him, "What's that on the side of your face?" And he just gets pissed off, and he goes, "It's one of the goddamn eggs broke in my hat."
Yeah, there's no like the guy did not. He wasn't curious what it was. He knew
What
what the
an
fuck he
interesting
was. He just wanted
character.
to help get the guy angry. Like his director is really talented at playing the innocent role. He plays aloof. He plays aloof. He acts like he just doesn't get what the problem is. So while Perry is so angry, he makes Perry explain why he's angry. It's
So,
just a mess.
This guy knows Darkside Phil.
Oh, he hates Darkside Phil. He
Okay.
really, they messed with him and they started like a streamer war between him and Darkside Phil.
Okay, well, who hasn't messed with Darkside Phil?
Yeah, but he doesn't. He doesn't
Yeah.
mess with Darkside Phil. In fact, Darkside Phil doesn't know who he is, but they decided to make him think that Darkside
Oh,
Phil's fucking
man.
with him.
I mean, it's this point as legendary as the low tier god versus Darkside Phil thing. No?
I've not heard of that.
Oh my god! So this guy named Low Tier God, I think he plays like Mortal Kombat and those like fighter games. He like had a match versus Darkside Phil once. Low Tier God won, but still, it was like a big deal on a stream. I've looked it up before.
I just and your whole thing saying he's an interesting character, I will have to agree with you on that, because I don't understand it. It's funny. It's extremely funny. I've honestly never found anything on the internet that has made me laugh harder than that. But
It's a good endorsement.
This guy's
what
got a lot going on.
No, I've never found anything in the internet that makes me laugh harder than that.
it's
That's
true.
a good
That
endorsement.
is a
That's
really
a
good
very
endorsement.
strong endorsement.
Because the internet has a lot of funny shit, dude.
Well, yeah, that's very true, and I've come across a lot of it. But I mean, to this extent,
I laugh till I cry sometimes. Like some of the things that just
oh man, like that night, that one we were watching, I mean, I literally couldn't breathe. I was laughing so hard. Now I've had moments like that with some of Burnt Toast stuff, and of course the string of videos that Fat Photog has been putting out lately have just
he's a genius.
Oh my god, what an amazing job he does. I would really like to know how because in some of the Revs Rollies commercials, he sounds like the guy that used to do the Smuckers commercials, that I remember when I was a kid.
Oh, I recognize the voice he's using really well. That's Casey Kasem.
Oh, is it? It sounds kind of like the guy.
Next time you hear it, imagine that voice saying, "And this is American Top 40."
Okay, I can kind of see it now, because I can hear it, but it oh my god, it's just so good. The Oh god, which one was it? The original Revs Rollies is my favorite though.
Revs Rollies.
I'm tempted to pull it up and play it. But and I've laughed at things like that, but that guy's streams and his raging and everything, I mean, I laughed till I hurt. I mean, I'm literally in tears, and my stomach hurts because I'm laughing so hard.
Oh
Because
man.
you should watch some of it, Splicer. It's really really good. Like Jello has shown me a lot of great shit, and he's always spot on with it. So if it comes from him, I pretty much trust his judgment.
Awesome.
Uh, Jello, how was your weekend, man? Did you get out walking around, or did we just hide out?
I mean, my old lady's kid came over, and my kid was here for a while. So actually, my kid and his girlfriend were here. So the
Awesome.
house was filled with the pitter patter of little feet all weekend. So it was quite a busy little weekend here.
Well, I mean, it's always good to spend time with family and everything. Shit, it's like I was saying earlier before you came in. I've been laid up with fucking sciatica the last 3 days.
Oh, sorry, dude.
Yeah, right now I'm dealing with a numb right foot and a numb ankle. Because the nerve is finally starting to heal. Yeah, it's been a bitch, dude, and it's the first flare up that I've ever had since my surgery about 10 years ago. The weird thing is, like, I know that I'm wearing, like, right now I have these little like slip on like flip flop sandal kind of things that I just wear around the house, and I know it's there. But if for some reason, if it just falls off, I have no clue until I look down because my foot is still.
Sure.
Well,
It's weird, okay? I mean, I've experienced some strange things in my time, but this is just crazy.
it's just crazy, man.
It's crazy. It's insane.
It's a me, Mario.
Oh my god, don't get me started on fucking Mario, dude.
Man, I have a Switch now. I
Yeah,
haven't played any Mario yet.
oh god, dude, I haven't played a Mario game in years. I think one of the last ones that I played was like Mario Party 8. Um
Not bad.
I mean, fun game. It's just like I said, I haven't played. Oh no, wait, I take that back. Me and my best friend, we played a few rounds of the. I guess it's the Wii U.
Super Mario Bros.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've played that. I played on the Switch version of it because a lot of the Wii U games just ported to Switch.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry to come in at I hope it wasn't interrupting a story or anything.
No.
Okay, cool. Hi.
Hello.
Well, hello, Mr. Vladimir. Splicer was just telling me about you earlier.
Oh,
Uh,
good things I hope, right?
Of course, of
Uh,
course.
No, he actually told me that you were
An
into.
absolute cringe fest. You right.
Well, he's true. That's true, but I don't take that as a negative, you know? You
Well,
gotta
well, I mean, his whole explanation about the human trafficking thing was a little disturbing, I have to say.
Oh,
Um, that's why I started not to let you in. I'm just like, I don't know if I can trust this guy.
it's just a side hustle, you know? You gotta make money somehow, right?
um,
All right, you're trying not to get canceled.
well, I mean, canceling happens all the time. I mean,
Cancel schmancel.
we
That's
get.
this guy.
I mean, Jello's gotten us canceled a few times. Bran gets
Yeah,
us
you're
canceled.
trying not to get canceled, and you invited me. That was a poor choice.
Well, I know. I mean, but the cancellations that we get due to you and Bran are always the best because it's always funny as hell. So it's almost like a put it like a trophy case. It's just like, all right, who can get the best cancellation on us this time? Um,
That's how you know you're making funny stuff, you know?
that's very true. Splicer was telling me you are one of his gaming buddies.
That's true, yes.
Yes, we're in like
We were
our
gaming
main gaming
yesterday
group.
even.
Yeah. Ghost hunting. Ghost
That
hunting.
and zombie hunting as well.
Of course. Yeah, I played 7 Days to Die last night.
Let me guess. Phasmophobia and 7 Days to Die.
Yes,
right.
that's
Good job.
perfect.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Oh,
Back
I
to
was
two for
back, baby.
two. Those are
See, the
great
ghost-
games, by the way. I was playing.
Mhm.
I just, I've been playing 7 Days to Die for a while, and it's been a while since I've reinstalled it. But then Alpha 20, right?
right. That's why I started playing again too.
I'm still in that rut where I don't have a good system to play games on a computer.
We'll get you there, man. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Yes, I'm well aware that we're going to get me there.
Once
mean,
you get the equipment, I got you.
So what? I should just buy it all and ship it to you?
No, I can remotely help you. I'll just log into your computer real quick. Like
Now,
a hacker man.
you seen those robotic surgeons they have now? He's gonna use little arms from remote access and put your computer together for you.
I don't know if I can trust a robot surgeon, to be honest
Nah,
with you.
man, just buy a pre-built. We'll set you up with something nice.
So what is this? What is this 7 Days to Die that you guys are talking about?
It's
I can't explain that game. I literally had to play it before I could explain it.
it's
a survival game.
yeah, and it's like survival, but kind of like I want to say Rust or like Minecraft in its building sort of. You got voxels and you got the blocks, so you can. It's not just hiding from zombies, but it's building bases to defend from them and stuff like that. It's like the big parts are surviving, scavenging, and then like building and tearing stuff down. So it's like a mix between that. That's why it's kind of unique, So
It's been like early access for a very long time, where the
yeah.
game's not done yet, but the devs have just been pumping out like occasional updates.
See, that's the problem with indie games is that they always start off in a very crappy state for a very long time, and like
This game's finally gotten up to a decent point to where you can really enjoy yourself.
yeah, I wish they could use you could mod like Fallout or something to just be good right off the bat and fill those niches that you need, But
Yeah.
7 Days to Die is kind of clunky right now, so
I mean, I've played survivalist type games like that before. Like, I love the Dead Rising games.
yeah.
There you go.
Those are a lot of fun. The first one more specifically.
That's the one in the mall, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a funny game. I
Oh,
like the comedy. Like that's the one with the weapons you put together, right?
No, that was, I think you could do it a little bit in the first one, but it was more prevalent in part 2 because you
But
can
I
combine.
really feel like the one where you can put like the saw blades inside the mop bucket, and then you use the mop bucket as a weapon by slamming it onto their heads.
I like. I think you can get like a kayak paddle and strap like 2 chainsaws to either end of it.
Sure.
But the first one thing that me and some of my friends like to do is we would immediately take off for the parking garage, and we would just see how long we could last. Like basically, we made up our own little survival game. You can go and you can, as long as you're alive, you get to keep playing. But the minute you die, pass it on to somebody else. And so we just made our own little survival game from it. But those are a lot of fun. Let's see what else.
I got eaten by a dog last night.
Oh,
I have a melee build, so like I'm just punching everything. I have an unarmed, just punch everything.
I didn't know
build,
that's
and,
how you died. I knew
this
you
dog
got
ran up and just it just ate me. I got my ass beat by a dog.
right.
It's probably a wolf, but I'm pretty sure it was just a normal dog. Same thing.
Cello, god damn it.
Yeah, I just like got my ass kicked super hard in 7 days.
I was about to say, Jello, here's a couple other people for you to play that with, because I know they're all, especially, well, Splicer is just like, you need to get on here, man. I'm like, what, dude, you say that to me every time you talk to me.
Yes.
Phasmophobia is a fun game.
I've what I've watched of it is really, really cool.
I know I should have recorded last night's games.
Yeah.
Really what I think would be cool is if they did a version of it where you got to be instead of doing the investigate, also doing like looking for them, because
Mm.
that's I guess kind of like the basis of it. Make a Ghostbusters edition.
I was gonna say the cleanup team afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing about it's people, think, oh, so you're hunting ghosts. Not really.
You're
You're
not
more like,
hunting. Yeah.
yeah, you're more like hiding from them. But the
It's a fear
goal is just
factor.
to figure out what they are. But
Yeah.
what
just
the
yeah.
interesting part about it is all the jump scares that happen, the little whispers that happen in your ears. It's a great stream. It's a great game to stream on like Twitch, because like if you do only like the houses, that it can take maybe up to like half an hour or 20 minutes or so to like do a and then you're on to another one.
And
So
you have the chat with you, so you're not like totally alone if you are by yourself.
yes,
Yeah.
I
it's really
don't
nice.
like playing that game alone now. Oh,
I would play it alone with chat. I would.
If you were
it's
ghosts, if you were actually hunting them though, like if you could like fight them, then I
creepy as
think it would be a
fuck.
lot less scary.
That's what the devs have said for Phasmophobia. They said they don't want you to exorcise the ghost or take care of it because there's like the ability to fight back. They don't want that. They want you to be scared.
Because right now you're just kind of like the Steve Irwin of ghosts, you know?
I mean, look
You
at
just
me. I
like
freaking died last night.
you're
to a
like, look at
ghost.
this one. This one's a big one, you know? Like that.
And man, I'm
Ooh,
really
this
hoping we
ghost is
find a
moving
Ouija
really
board.
fast. I'm gonna try to stick my finger up his bum.
Oh yeah, that South Park episode's like, now what I'm gonna do is sneak up behind him and jam my thumb in his butt off.
Yeah. So Phasmophobia just released the cursed items update. So instead of just getting a Ouija board, you have the option of a Ouija board, a magic mirror that lets you see the ghost room before it
Ooh,
breaks.
mirror gazing.
And
Nice.
there's a music box you can play for the ghosts. There's also a tarot cards, like the deck,
Yeah, I
of,
had
deck of tarot
experience
cards.
with that one.
And they're like your gambling deck of cards. So when you pull a card, it will like burn up in your hand, and you like something will happen. So like a ghost event will trigger. The ghost will have an interaction. You could just die. I'm not kidding. There's a card that just kills you.
That sounds similar to I'm guessing I'm the only Dungeons and Dragons player in the panel right now. But that sounds like a
Deck of many things.
yes, thank you. It sounds exactly like the deck of
I
many
mean,
things.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, you're the only Dungeons and Dragons player.
I didn't realize that you had played Jello. I apologize.
I've played twice, but I didn't have a very nice DM, so they kind of, you know the kind that like.
Oh yeah, their rule is law and all this other kind of shit.
Right, yeah. Less
the
about
very-
fun, more about like strict rules and stuff.
Well, see, I mean, now I'm okay with some strict rules, but not a whole lot of them. The DM, I mean, while yes, he, as far as the game is concerned, he is God,
Right.
because that is his world he's creating. But you get the wrong DM, and it will honestly ruin the game.
Yeah, and it was also like less. They wouldn't let you play into your character, like because you got half of it's role play, right? Like
Yeah.
And so I was it was my first time. I was generic. I was doing like a paladin, like a goody two shoes sort of character. But like every time I tried to do something, they thought it'd be funny if my character, it ends up the opposite thing, and it would have been fine if that happened to everybody. But they were only doing it to my character. Every good deed I did ended up as like hurting something or destroying like an innocent or something like that. And it's like, well, I don't know why I chose this then. If it's just gonna be me.
That sounds something like you had
D&D
like
hazing.
Well, no, it sounds. I mean, if every good deed that you did triggered something awful, then that sounds like they had given you you had a curse of some type on you or something like that. Because if you're a good character, especially like a lawful good character, and you do something like you kill someone purposefully or something, it causes an immediate alignment change.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that. The tarot card thing that Splicer was just describing sounds exactly like the deck of many things, because you can draw, because you can actually use like regular playing cards, or you can use a tarot deck. They actually have At one point, I haven't looked at a player's handbook and I don't know how long, but at one point they did, or not the player's handbook, but the Dungeon Master's Guide, and they had the what the card would do, whether it was a deck of cards or a deck of tarot cards, and one of them was
Death.
yes, that was the Ace of Spades. You had to fight death, and
Hmm.
if you lose, then of course your character is immediately dead and you have to start over.
That's a GG.
One time I was playing and that got brought into the game, and I drew a card and my soul immediately left my body, was encased in a jar, and I had to find it. But I had very little information on actually where it ended up.
Right.
So yeah, that kind of sounds kind of like that. But what I was talking about was, like, I understand the whole thing of it being a horror game and everything like that. And if the developers don't want you to like exercise them or anything like that, that's fine. Just make a different version of it where you could actually be like make a Ghostbuster version of it. Like you're actually going and hunt, like not like the video games that they did, which the video game was great, but put them in different settings and different
Yeah, it doesn't
scenarios.
even have to be a separate game, right? Just like a different mode in the game itself, right?
Mm-hmm. Right, but you actually get to play a Ghostbuster.
It's like in Left 4 Dead or Back 4 Blood, you can have the modes where you're fighting zombies and the modes where you are the zombies, you know? It's just like it doesn't detract from the regular zombie mode to be hunted by them, you know, to have a mode where you can be them too. Like likewise, I think Phasmophobia would have it would only add more players and more interest if you could switch it up by being the exorcist, you know?
That's true. Did
Maybe
any
I have to like wait for a sequel game.
did
Yeah.
anybody here play Friday the 13th?
I watched a lot of people play it, but I haven't.
the
we
fact that it's
played,
not being updated, it just kind of kills it
we
for
played
me.
Dead
Like
by
the
Daylight.
old Super NES game.
Like I prefer Dead by Daylight just because it has updates.
No, now I've played the original NES Friday the 13th game, which
I played that.
Oh my!
to be honest with you, it doesn't really make any sense.
No, it's a terrible game.
Yeah.
I watched I'll watch Angry Video Game Nerd every once in a while, and I watched his review of that and the Nightmare on Elm Street game, which incidentally, you want to talk about a horror game that should have already happened, especially now with all the new technology and everything. You gave us a Friday the 13th game. Why can't we get a Nightmare on Elm Street game? I would love that. I would play that game religiously.
Who's the copyright holder?
Oh, but they can make money off it.
Of the
if they
franchise?
decided
Yeah, it
to.
depends on who owns like the franchise right now.
The franchise is owned by New Line Cinema.
Okay, have they made any other games ever?
They made a Nightmare on Elm Street game for the original Nintendo system.
Okay,
Back
any
in
other
the-
IP? Is there any other IPs they've used?
Isn't New Line the people behind not Lord of the Rings? What is it?
No, New Line Cinema put out Lord of the Rings as well.
Oh, then yeah, they could easily do that instead of like the
Well,
Lord of
see,
the
they did right, but see, they did Lord of the Rings games,
yeah.
like for PS2, which I
Yeah.
played.
Lord of
which
the
I
Rings
played
is built
those, and those were
different, not gonna lie.
great.
Lord of the Rings is definitely a much more impressive property in sales, but
Well, I mean, for the fantasy, yes, but I'm talking about like as far as horror goes. Like I said, they did the one game back on the original NES, and they've never done another game since. Which the original, from what I've seen of it, is it's awful.
so yeah, they have Nightmare on Elm Street, Final Destination, Blade, The Conjuring movies.
They have the
Yeah.
mask.
Mask.
Yeah, Mask.
That would be a great video
New
game.
Line. Well, see, New Line Cinema was responsible for putting out a lot of great movies. Like
Jim
they
Carrey
own
back in the booth.
Austin Powers.
New Line Cinema also owns the original 3 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies.
Nice.
Mm.
You could have an Elf gaming franchise. There you go.
But I'm just curious to why, like, from what I saw of the Friday the 13th game, it was very detailed. It was very good. It was very playable. It was more of a survival thing. Like either you were playing the group trying to evade Jason, or you could play Jason himself.
Yeah.
I'm not quite. I guess the whole thing would be.
I mean, it could be because Freddy's like already in Dead by Daylight.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is Dead by Daylight
Nightmare
the
on Elm
one
Street.
where you just have a little like abandoned area to run around in, and one person is like the
One's
bad
the
guy?
killer.
Yeah.
It's a 1v4.
1v4, yeah.
Yeah, that game looks like a lot of fun. It looks like a lot of fun to play Pinhead. Pinhead has some really neat abilities.
There's a lot of good characters you can play as now.
that's what I kept hearing when that game came out. Like they were in
I mean-
like programming in like actual.
Yeah.
Um,
They got Myers and Freddy.
Yeah. I think that like he either it was Jason or Michael Myers. It was one of the
They
first
can't
ones.
get Jason in because of
The game.
Friday the 13th, the game. Yeah, they literally can't because of that lawsuits and stuff.
Well, that's kind of strange. I mean, the likeness could be modified slightly.
The issue
Yeah.
is because of like the creator and the like weird legal battles going on for the copyright for Friday the 13th. So it put the game on hold. It means he can't be in any of their games. Jason can't be. So it's like a humongous legal battle that won't be settled until like 2023.
That's
So-
dumb. They hate money, I guess, because they could
Basically.
have twice as much, you know.
I
from that
know.
Double
I'm sure like another
licensing.
movie coming out for it might help some spark too. Although new movies kind of suck, so who knows?
I didn't know Pinhead was in DBD.
Yeah,
though.
he just released for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, see,
I've watched videos of people playing it, and they all have like 3 different unique abilities, right? And,
Yeah.
Pinhead's abilities look like a lot of fucking fun.
It's kind of like each killer releases with a unique ability themselves, but they also have a perk. Like they have like 3
Like a
perks.
passive or something?
No. So the perks change out between killers and survivors.
Because I've
And
never played the killers.
You have the option of 4 perks, but each survivor or killer releases with 3 perks. Your biggest issue is probably the Stranger Things content because that got taken out. So they did a deal for Stranger Things to have the Demogorgon and Nancy and Steve from Stranger Things, the TV show, and the copyright for that they didn't want to renew it, I guess, so they had to take it out of the game. So anyone who bought it just like can still have it, but like the map they made for it, they can't use any of that stuff anymore. It's kind of
Does
stupid.
Smite still have its Stranger
Smite still
Things?
has its Stranger Things though, which is kind of strange.
I
Bad
get
wording.
it. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to say.
And yes, but Smite started theirs after, so it could happen in like another year or two where Smite loses their Stranger Things.
Speaking
content.
of modified likenesses, the Ash from Evil Dead knockoff skin in Smite. He doesn't have a chainsaw on his hand. He's holding a chainsaw and he has a double barrel shotgun like taped to his other arm or whatever. Or maybe he just is holding it. What is he doing with it?
well, they would have done a modification on that particular They would have done a modification for that so they could have it because they did in fact put out an Evil Dead game.
And new Ash, like the new Evil Dead Ash from the newer movies or whatever, he's in Dead by Daylight. Like he's
really?
he's actually in Dead by Daylight as a playable character. You can just buy him. He's like a one-off, so it's like $5 to play him.
Does he have the boomstick? I don't remember
No, he
seeing
doesn't
him.
have any guns.
Boom
It's Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
He's actually the only character in Dead by Daylight that talks.
Well, see, they're giving. We'll see. I mean, it's going to be the Ash from Army of Darkness.
Yeah, it's the new one. But so like you select him as a character, and he says, "Who's shitting in the tall grass?" Very weird.
That's
Very
cool.
weird.
That's cool that they let him talk, you know?
He's the only character in DVD that talks.
Oh wow!
Mhm.
Every time you see boomstick in a video game, there's got to be a reference to that, right? And
Maybe.
Well, yeah. I mean, because that's kind of like one of Ash's shticks. Really, is the boomstick. I mean, also like when you hear him say "groovy," you know, stuff
He
like
says that too.
Yeah. Did anyone see the remake of Evil Dead?
I have not. No.
I just know he's a character.
I saw the TV show.
No, they did. They did a remake of Evil Dead. Bruce Campbell was not in the movie whatsoever, but but see, here's the thing: like, if you watch it all the way to the end of the credits, you actually see Bruce Campbell, and like he literally just says groovy and then the camera cuts off, which I guess they're maybe planning to go back through on and do maybe Evil Dead 2 maybe, and he'll actually be in it. But from what I understand, Bruce Campbell doesn't want to play Ash anymore. Like he's like kind of tired. He's like actually getting kind of tired of it.
Hmm. I'm sure he gets a lot of money from it, though, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's raking in like franchise fee, franchise money and all this other kind of stuff. And you got to know he was making bank going and doing like all these fucking horror cons and comic cons and shit. I mean,
Oh, I imagine getting tired of that, though. That would be because he may not want to go around the country and do that, you know?
oh right. I mean, I get that, but at the same time, I mean, that's your character. I mean, you created that. You made it what it is. It's similar to Robert Englund with Freddy Krueger. I mean, you can't have there's just nobody else who can actually play that character.
Here we
Yeah.
go again. the
You
talk.
shut Splicer. If you stir that pot, I swear by everything holy and sacred in this sanctum that I will kick you in the balls.
Has anybody seen was it Brother Hotep or
Bubba Hotep.
Bubba Hotep? That's what it is.
I've seen it once. Now it's Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell is a patient in a mental ward, and he thinks that he is
No,
actually.
it's like a convalescing home. It's an old folks home.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a like a mental institution or something. If, like I said, I've only seen it once, and it was years ago. But basically, Bruce Campbell's character thinks he is Elvis, and his friend there didn't he think he was like JFK or somebody?
Yeah, you're stuck on the whole mental institution. It's an old folks home, and he is an aging Elvis that has been hiding from society, pretending to be dead, and his friend at the old folks home is a black man who is hiding JFK in hiding. They gave him surgery and whatnot to make him black.
I mean, it is an interesting movie. It really really is.
Really cool.
I need to go back and watch it.
I
But
think it's my favorite Bruce Campbell movie. I think.
if I had to pick one that I've seen him in that I really like, it's really a toss. Honestly, I'd have, as much as I love the whole franchise, I'd have to say Evil Dead 2. I'd really honestly have to say Evil Dead 2. The only thing is about that particular franchise is they come back to the same location, but Bruce Campbell's a different character in the first one versus the second one. And like it's two completely different, if what I'm saying makes sense.
Yeah, no, you said it right.
That's the fact, like they didn't actually kind of follow the character. I'm trying to think how to put this. I don't know. I really don't know how to say it. Because like I said, he was one character in the first one, and then it's a complete shift to a different character. Like Jello, am I correct in saying like between the first one and the second one, and basically when they went out to the cabin in the second one, it's like he had never been there before?
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah. In fact, he might even be playing the same character, but a different person. You know what I mean? Like,
right, I get that.
I think he might actually be Ash in both of them.
I mean, he could be going by the same name, but it's just like two.
Yeah, it's
two
like a
completely
different
stories.
timeline or parallel universe or something. It's
Yeah.
like he's going back.
Like a soft reboot, sort of, or are you saying like between one and
it
two,
was
right?
like a soft reboot, but it was long before they were doing reboots of movies.
Right.
It was just kind of like, hey, we could do that better.
Just like not any necessarily continuity between one and two, right? Just like
Right.
like a soft sequel rather than like a soft reboot, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah. No real continuity
or a
whatsoever.
sidequel, I guess. I don't know what you would call it. Not really a sequel, but
Um, well, no, I mean it is a sequel technically. Basically, the one thing that's been consistent in this movie is the evil that surrounds that particular location.
yeah.
Um, the now Splicer has seen the first one.
Oh yeah.
Um, which apparently he says it's very dated. Um,
Got him.
shut up.
Woof, woof, woof.
God damn it.
That's rough, buddy.
Yeah, shut up.
Has
Oh my
anyone here
gosh.
seen My Name Is Bruce? Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't seen that one.
That's one where Bruce Campbell plays himself.
Oh,
And
nice.
the world is sort of being overtaken by like Army of Darkness kind of shits.
Cool.
And Bruce Campbell gets to play himself as Bruce Campbell, the guy who is the bit actor.
Oh God.
It's really funny.
That's
It's a
some third
great
eye
movie.
shit.
So is it like
Oh.
sort of like parodical, sort of? Is he like? Is he like playing it tongue in cheek, sort of like
100%. He's Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Pretty
like
much
all
everything
he does.
is tongue in cheek shit. Yeah, definitely. Splicer, I know you said you had something going on. Do you need to bounce?
We are good for another like 10 minutes or so.
Okay. Well, I mean, since we got Vladimir and Jello here, we probably keep going
Yep.
for just a little while longer. But I've liked everything that I've seen him in. Now they did do what was that series they did, Jello? What was it? Ash versus Evil Dead or something like that? It was on.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. Like, it's not for everybody. Not everybody's gonna be into Bruce Campbell. Like, you gotta love cheesy comedy horror. And if you don't like it, you won't like any of his stuff. But if you like that stuff, and you don't know if you don't know who he is, but you like the way comedy and horror can go together, he might be your favorite person in the world.
I talking about kind of horror comedy. Jello, have you ever seen the movie Dead Alive?
Sure.
Oh God, that is the epitome of comedy evil or horror comedy.
Bad taste.
I have not seen that yet. I have not seen that yet.
It is exactly the way it. And check out who directs it. It'll blow your mind.
Peter Jackson?
Peter Jackson directed Dead Alive. Yeah, the Peter Jackson.
Huh.
And this one.
Oh, he directed Bad Taste too?
My Google wasn't loading.
I believe so. I could be wrong, but I think it was him.
Well, if it would load.
This is his most expensive film up to that point. I wonder what could have overtaken that.
What are you talking about? Dead Alive?
Yeah.
The special effects budget.
Or I'm just saying, like,
Lord of
the Rings probably blew out
The
of the water.
lawnmower scene, right?
The lawnmower scene.
Best scene in the whole fucking movie.
Oh God, I liked the. Oh God, what was it when I like when the ear falls off while they were eating dinner. You know,
Sure.
the scene I'm talking about. The old woman's ear just kind of slides off into like her pudding or whatever in the fuck it was.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
I'm gonna tell you, if you're not into gore, you don't need to watch it because it is a pretty gross movie.
Oh yeah, both of these movies are gore. Like, they're just gore. It's I'm not gonna say gore porn. I think gore porn is more like Saw. That's like gore porn, right?
Yeah.
It's just like completely gratuitous. Which, by the way, I also love gratuitous gore. I got no problem with it. It's
I enjoy a good gory movie. The first I do like the first Saw, the first Hostel.
Oh yeah, Hostel is way
Those
up
ones are
there.
really dark.
Yeah, the first one though, out of all of them, is the best one. Um, when you do sequels to movies like that, they will get terrible as they continue.
Yeah.
Um, and they really kind of toned everything down with the Saw series also, which I didn't like. Um, what's another one? Shit. Oh, I've actually watched a lot of the Argento movies. I think he did. Was it The Wizard of Gore? I've actually seen that. Um, those are some interesting movies. There are a lot of like really old gore movies from like the late '60s, early '70s that if you're not looking for them, you wouldn't know that they exist.
Right.
But the Wizard of Gore is really interesting. The premise of the movie is about this onstage magician, and what he does is he literally makes it look like he has just killed someone on stage, and then they miraculously come back to life. Well, then once they leave the theater, they die the exact same way they went on stage.
Nice. That's perfect.
It's a very interesting movie.
It reminds me of, I don't know. I guess that reminded me of Final Destination, sort of, in the like the predetermined death sort of thing, you know?
I'm
Yeah.
thinking like a Twilight Zone episode.
Oh yeah, that does feel like that.
It freaking feels like a plot of a Twilight Zone episode.
Oh, it's just like if you've ever seen the original Wayne's World, that scene with Garth, where he's just like, did you ever see the Twilight Zone where the guy signed a contract and they cut out his tongue and put it in a jar and it wouldn't die? It just grew and pulsated and gave birth to baby tongues.
Okay. Okay.
Well, you've never seen Wayne's World, so.
I have not. There's a lot of things I haven't seen. And in fact, last week I saw Lord of the Rings, the first one, for the first time.
Oh yeah, that's
Fellowship of the
right.
Ring.
Are you,
Yeah,
dude? Man, I'm starting to think you live under a rock,
I
bro.
do. I saw it in a movie theater too.
But he liked it. That's the important
It was
part.
good. Yeah. I mean, I had to watch the other.
The true sign if he
still.
becomes a fan of the Lord of the Rings movies is if he can sit through all 3 extended editions.
Yes.
I mean, it was the extended edition of the first one. I checked.
That's good. Cause
The one that's actually
the-
4 hours instead of 3.
Because I watched the unextended editions once, and I was like, what happened to all the good scenes? Like, there's a lot of scenes that shouldn't have been cut out, you know? I mean, I guess they had to, but, like, I would have cut it differently, you know? Like, some...
It's
I don't
rare
wanna
that
do any
movies have
spoilers,
those
I
extended
guess.
editions.
Yeah, I'm surprised that those movies haven't gotten Criterion editions.
I mean,
4
Yeah,
hours
not
for
like that.
one movie. I'd be like Nick Cage from 8mm.
yeah, at home you
Showing
can just
him
pause
the
that
like
shit.
snuff
It's
film
fine.
of his daughter, and he's like, "Turn it off! Turn it off!"
Oh,
Yeah, at home you can just pause that shit though, so whatever.
yeah, I told Splicer that he should watch 8mm. That's
Those
one
are a
of.
bunch of movies I have on my list from you. All right.
Yeah, I know. You didn't do your homework this week.
I did not.
You know,
That's
honestly, because you didn't do it, you should tell me which one you've picked.
You're right. What were the 2 options again? I have a lot of lists here.
The 2 that I gave you for this week were going to be either Dazed and Confused or Inglorious Bastards.
Oh yeah, it was Inglorious Bastards. That was what I
That's a
picked.
good one. Yeah, that's a good choice.
You did pick Inglorious
Yeah,
Bastards.
I picked
Nice.
that. Yeah, it's on the top of my list for a reason. I was
That
wondering.
one's quotable.
Oh,
Very quotable.
Okay.
we're going to be doing one thing and one thing only.
Wasn't
Killing
Disney
Nazis.
confused your quote of this show's like name?
No, not this one. The title of this particular episode was "You Got to Keep Living, Man."
Yeah,
Livin, and that comes from Matthew McConaughey's character Wooderson in Dazed and
He's
Confused.
got the
Yeah, that's what I
most
said. I was like, it's from
creepy
Dave.
line
They
in
looked it
that
up.
movie.
Oh yeah, that right there is one of the most cringe lines ever.
He's like this like 25-year-old guy that hangs around with high school kids because he loves reliving the glory days.
Oopsie doopsie.
And there's this line where he's like, "The thing I like about cheerleaders is," or
Oh no, wait
well,
a minute. No, it's what I love about these high school girls, man. I get older, they stay the
Well,
same
oh, that's what that's
age.
from. I've heard that
Yeah,
quote before
yes,
as a joke. Yeah.
it just
No,
it's
no,
took me
so
TS
an
bad.
hour
glad
after that
she.
line, and he delivers it so perfectly.
Oh,
Like,
oh, the way.
you just want to chop him in the throat after saying it. You're like, oh, you're a piece of fucking shit.
Now it's a script, dude.
No, the way that he ends the line is the best thing because he just goes, "Yes, they do." What the
With
fuck?
that whole, that whole Matthew McConaughey, all right, all right, all right, that Matthew McConaughey thing he does, he
Yeah.
has that just dripping in that whole line. And it's like, oh, it's just fucked up.
Alrighty, dudes, I gotta go, but we will have to have another conversation sometime.
Absolutely, man. I'll be in touch with you later in the week, but the rest of us we're gonna keep going for a little bit longer.
Julio, see you later, dudes.
All right,
ya.
man. Be good, man. But no, Jello, you're right. That is one of the cringiest lines ever. I'm going to tell you one of the as much as I love Dazed and Confused, it was so weird to see a young Ben Affleck in that movie.
I mean, everything was weird about that movie. I mean, see, here's the thing. That movie is supposed to depict right around the time I was being born. So I don't even have a great, hey, Melissa, I don't even have a great recollection of it. But it's reminiscent of other like youth movies with teenagers in them, from around
yeah.
that time. So it kind of, I think they did a good time, I think they did a good job at like depicting the way the times were.
Well, it says the spankings are weird in the movie.
Let's face it, Melissa, spankings are pretty much always weird.
Well, depending on the context of them, I suppose. um, no, I like a lot of those movies. Dazed and Confused is definitely one of my favorites. SLC Punk is another one. Have you seen that one, Jello? With Matthew
Of
Lillard?
course, I've seen SLC Punk.
Thank God. What is your take on that movie? Now, me personally, I appreciate it for what it is because I was I was part of the little underground punk scene where I'm from. Um, and you saw a few cats kind of dressing like that, but it was few and far between. But it was mostly just like the outcasts of school and everything. But like, what's your take on that one?
I thought Shaggy playing a punk rocker was a terrible idea.
You didn't like him in the movie?
No,
Wow.
it was awful in that role. I think he's way better as Shaggy or some stoner kid. He does a really good stoner kid.
Well, he was a stoner in that one as well.
I liked him in what was the Scream. I liked him a lot in Scream.
Oh yeah, Stu. He played Stu in that movie. Um, Vladimir, you've obviously never heard of these movies? I'm assuming.
No, I'm an '80s movie kind of guy. I've seen some of them sound familiar.
Oh, 80s movies, you say?
Yes.
Oh, there's a
Uh,
really great movie from the punk rock movie from the 80s.
Suburbia.
Yes.
Suburbia is good, but I was thinking Repo Man.
I haven't seen that one actually.
Oh, now you see, you gotta see the right version. There's like Repo Man, the opera, and that's not the one. It's it stars a very young Emilio Estevez.
Oh, now I'm an Emilio fan for sure.
That sounds. I have to look him up.
It's weird. He's a Charlie Sheen's brother. They were both in Young Guns.
Yeah, and they were in Men at Work as well.
Oh fuck! I forget about that movie. That was hilarious.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Breakfast Club.
Oh, I love The Breakfast Club.
It's been so long since I've seen it.
Saturday,
it's good though.
March 24th, Sherman, Illinois. Sherman High School, Sherman, Illinois, 60062.
What was the year?
He doesn't say that in the beginning of it.
Yes, he does.
Saturday, March 24th. No, he just says the date.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but we should. You know what? We should really find the clip and see how close I was. I think I'm pretty dead on.
Hang on, I can look that up. I can Google that really quick because I call every day when that day comes around, I call it Detention Day.
Oh, I remember. Oh, there's a '90s film that I think, a horror film. I think you guys might have seen, Sphere, with Dustin Hoffman and Samuel L. Jackson. It's more like thriller, but
I've heard of the movie.
oh, it's really good. It'll get you like, it's like an underwater thing too, but not like those shark movies and stuff. Not like Jaws or anything, or the new one. But it's just like it's more like a character's minds being their own worst nightmare and stuff like that.
I've never seen it. To be honest with you, I've never seen that movie. And you can be in shock definitely when I say this, but I've never seen Dune before, the original Dune.
Oh, it's not. I didn't like it. As someone who read the books, it doesn't really do justice to it, and I haven't seen the new one yet, so I'm kind of scared, but
Jello, you've heard of the director. I always seem to pronounce his last name wrong. But have you heard of the director Hodorowski?
Oof, that's a fucked up name. I don't think so.
Saturday, March 24th, 1984.
That's what it says at the beginning of
The
Breakfast Club.
Yes, according to what I'm looking at here, yeah. Let me actually hang on. I'll pull it up on YouTube and let me listen to it real quick. We will solve this mystery. Now I just want to go and listen to the fucking soundtrack.
What is it? What are they? That one line when they're in the gym? I can't remember. It was my friend quotes it all the time. What is it from that movie?
They're never in a gym.
Or
No,
not
yes,
the gym.
No, they are in the gym because remember, Bender runs off to the gym to let everybody else get back to the library when they sneak out to go to his.
Well, yeah, he goes running through the halls.
Right, but he ends up in.
There is a small scene where he catches them shooting baskets. That's right. He's in the gym for a few seconds. That's right.
Isn't he talking? He's like talking about he's making fun of. He's like, oh, I have a happy family or whatever. And the other guy's making fun of it or something like that. I'm trying to remember if that's the movie I'm thinking of. No, it's The Scholarship or something.
I'm working on my scholarship.
That's what it is. And then I'm thinking of. I can't remember what.
Okay, I have listened to the very first line in the movie of the opening scene of The Breakfast Club, and he does in fact say Saturday, March 24th, 1984.
Oh, I fucked it all up. Yeah, it's been a few years.
No. What was the line that you said that your friend quotes?
The scholarship one. That's what it was.
Trying out for a scholarship.
Think about trying out for a scholarship. He's like, don't you want to hear my excuse?
Judd Nelson was great in that fucking role, dude. That he literally made that character.
I really think they were all great. You know who I thought was the best in that? What's his name? The blonde kid from 16 Candles. Yeah,
I know.
The guy who wound up playing in the Stephen King series, was it The Dark Half or whatever?
I'm not. Oh, you're going to. Okay, hang on. Let me do some Google foo. Vladimir, that's what we
Michael
call.
Anthony Hall, right?
There it is. Yeah, that is it.
Yeah.
Michael Anthony Hall.
He was great in that. He played the little dork really well.
Okay, now Vladimir, since you're a fan of the '80s movies and you like horror, as far as I can tell, you've seen Maximum Overdrive, haven't you?
I had to think really hard on that one.
Emilio,
Stephen King's worst movie.
dude, Maximum Overdrive is a great movie. What are you talking about?
I mean, if you hate plot, I guess. Like, can you tell me why that was happening?
Why did a lot of things in Stephen King's books happen?
No, but I mean, like, if it was a great movie, there'd be some kind of explanation, right?
Well, they give the explanation at the end of the movie, like the Earth was passing through like a radiation or a rayon
They
wave or
give
some
you that
shit.
at the beginning. They give you like that. A good movie is, a movie's going to be great when they explain the plot of the movie in subtitles at the very beginning. Like a comet is about to pass through the earth and will be in this tail of the comet for 3 days. That's the explanation too. It's really bad.
Well, see, now I love the movie. It's fun. I think think of it as one of those fun horror movies, and plus the songs from AC/DC that they put in the movie are some of my
A
favorites.
lot of AC/DC in the movie.
Mhm.
That's never a bad point as far as I'm concerned. That's a selling point.
Well, actually, like I didn't realize this, but they took all the songs. I think there was pretty much almost the entire Back in Black album, pretty much, but there was a few others that they used, and then they put out the album Who Made Who, and it was essentially they put it out as an AC/DC record, but it was technically the soundtrack to Maximum Overdrive.
I don't know if you notice it, but there's a scene where there's actually a semi truck with the AC/DC logo on it, and that gets blowed up pretty early in the movie. So
I think I may have missed that.
it's kind of a fan theory that the band actually exists in that universe.
Hopefully they weren't in the truck, right?
No,
No,
it would have
probably been just like equipment and stuff, right?
Right.
but no, to me, it's just it's just one of those fun movies. I'll tell you another one that I really like is Stripes. That's another one of my favorite '80s movies.
Right.
I like the first portion of it. When they get the RV and go to Austria, not so much. Like it's like the first 3/4 of the movie is great. In fact, one of my favorite scenes, and like I can't imagine anybody not having seen it by now that is actually interested. So I don't think I'm going to give any spoilers. But the cadence scene.
Oh hell yes!
There she was, just a walking down the street, saying it was fucking amazing. Their cadence scene is the best.
I like the parade scene. The
When they wake
scene.
up late for
Yeah.
for the where have you been? Training, sir. What kind of training? Army training, sir.
I mean, and it's got a great cast in it too. You've got Bill Murray, Harold Ramis, John Candy. Who else? He was the captain. John Larroquette. He was in that too. But yeah, I mean that's another one of my favorite '80s movies. Anyone here into ninja movies by any chance?
I've seen a few from a while ago, like what's the one where the guy has to like the Olympics acrobat? You know that one? Where
No,
he's like,
You're
I-
talking about Jim Cotta.
yeah, I am. Yeah.
That's such an awful movie. I love it. That movie is bad in the best of ways.
Yeah. I guess
It's like they have to go through this huge, horrible obstacle course. And part of this huge, horrible obstacle course is like a town of crazy people. And there's this scene where this lunatic is like reaching for him with one hand and has a sickle in the other hand. And they grab onto this like drain vent or this drain whatever. They grab onto a pipe and they just can't let go of it because crazy, I guess. And they wind up cutting off their own
Reasons.
hand to get at him.
Yeah, it was it's one of those movies that is so bad but doesn't end up as a cult classic, really, you know.
One of my favorites, and I honestly, there's a group on Facebook that I belong to that's fans of this movie, but me personally, I don't know a lot of people who have seen it, and it's the movie American Ninja.
I haven't seen that one.
I've seen it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
that's
love
the
that movie.
White dude, right? He's like an army dude.
Yeah. That
Did you see the ninja movies? Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja.
no, I haven't seen those.
I haven't seen those either.
I have seen. I know of their existence. I've just never seen them.
You know, they're like they don't even seem like they fit into the same universe, but they all star the same dude, and I just love him. I don't know his name, but every single one of the ninja movies, he's just a dude with a family trying to make it, and he gets bullied by American thugs.
Oh, wait a minute! I think I've heard of this movie. I think I know what you're talking
Revenge of
about.
the Ninja was the most popular one.
Wait a minute!
But there
Didn't
was
they?
also like Ninja 2, the Armageddon.
Didn't they do a riff track to one of those movies?
I don't know. It feels like, I mean, I'm sure it must have been hilarious if they did, but to me it seemed like kind of a sacrilege. I just love the ninja movies. I really do. And when I say the ninja movies, I mean specifically the one starring this one dude, you know. American Ninja wasn't nearly as good. You really should see these other movies. I think it was like Ninja 2, Electric Boogaloo, something like that. They had a bunch of them. I don't remember exactly what they were called, but they were the ninja movies.
Everything too is Electric Boogaloo, man.
Yeah.
Enter the Ninja. Enter the Ninja and Revenge of the Ninja. I think those were I think it was Enter the Ninja. I think that was maybe the first one.
I've heard, like I said, I've heard of these movies. I've not seen them. But American Ninja, I grew up watching that movie. I absolutely love it. The scene where you see like all of them training just blows my fucking mind. And the battle, but the hand-to-hand battle between Joe and the Black Star Ninja at the towards the end of the movie is really, really good. Like, it was, to me, it was a well choreographed fight.
Did you ever see The Master?
No, I have not.
There's like a series from the mid 80s where there's like this old ninja master who finds this like teenage kid and trains him to be a ninja.
Interesting.
And they're both white dudes, of course.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I have seen this movie.
It's a series. It's not a movie. It's like TV.
I want to say actually I've seen a couple of those movies through riff tracks. I really think that I have.
No. It's not a movie.
Oh.
It's a television series.
Oh, okay. I thought it was, when you said it's a series, I thought you were meaning like a series of movies.
No. It's a TV series from like the late 80s or mid 80s.
What's it called again?
The Master.
Are you making a list, Vladimir?
I should be. I have a lot of movies to catch up on. Haven't watched movies in a while, actually. I've
I was
been.
about to say, for an '80s movies fan, you're kind of behind the times there, bro.
Yeah, I watch the long, boring ones. I mean, I don't find them boring. Like Lawrence of Arabia, Godfather. I mean, that's '70s, but basically.
um, there's a movie. I'd have to look. I think it's probably from the late '70s, but there's a movie called The Man Who Would Be King. Have you ever heard of that one?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know a lot of people who have actually heard of that movie. Um, very um, middle-aged Sean Connery, I guess you could say. Um, a lot of Masonic references in that movie as well.
Yeah.
Uh, Jello, have you heard of that one?
No, I don't think so.
The Man Who Would Be King. If you haven't heard of it, go look it up. It's definitely worth a watch. It is really really good.
Because the movie, apparently the East in the Road to El Dorado, it's like based on it. Apparently, the DreamWorks movie.
Yeah. Um, what, based on The Man Who Would Be King?
Yeah, it's supposed to be, is what I had heard
No,
about it.
there's no, that was based on the legend of the city of El Dorado, the city of gold.
Or like that, but then the plot line is influenced a lot by the Man Who Would Be King. Like them specifically, the characters.
Right. Um, Now, one movie that I still enjoy to this day is the original live action Masters of the Universe movie.
Jesus fuck!
What?
With your mind?
I didn't know there was a live action movie.
Yeah, they did a live action movie of Masters of the Universe, and the fact that Jello is ridiculing me because I like it means he obviously hated it.
Well, I mean,
What? Just say it.
I don't even think there was an Orko in it.
No, there wasn't.
I mean,
There wasn't battle. You didn't see Battle Cat either.
Wait, really?
The best part of He-Man was Orko. Like, I think everybody, like, he wasn't just a mascot. He was the heart of the series. Like, look, if you go back and watch it now, you're watching it. You got a different lens than when I was young. Fucking.
I grew up watching that original series
Right,
because
right.
I was
When
born
I say
in.
Orko was the heart of the series. Like, it's something.
And people like Skeletor too, right?
Well, see, one of the highlights of that live action Masters of the Universe is Skeletor, because he looks amazing. The makeup and everything that they did for him in that movie was incredible. But yeah, I love the movie. It's just one of those movies that I watched as a kid and I immediately fell in love with it, because it's just, to me, it's another one of those fun movies. Very young Courtney Cox in this movie. She's in the movie, and what's Dolph something?
Lundgren.
Yeah.
The Drago from Rocky.
Rocky, yeah. I can never remember his name. Do you know they put him in one of the Expendables movies?
No, isn't he in Die Hard also?
No.
Or is one of the henchmen or something? Or am I thinking of something else?
Are you talking about the big blonde-headed guy in the first one?
Yeah.
No, that wasn't him.
Oh, that's a Russian guy, isn't it? That guy is.
So is Drago. I must break you.
Yeah.
I must break you.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Definitely my favorite line in that movie. I must break you.
He actually, I don't think he actually spoke a lot of English.
He shouldn't. Like, and I don't just mean, like, it's not, and don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about how he fucks up. Like, anybody that understands two languages is probably smarter than me. That's not it. The guy looks pretty, but boy, is he bad at acting. He's not. He's not good.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like, and I didn't know this, and I watch. There are a couple of channels on here that I watch. One is called Cinema Sins, and the other is this one done by a guy named Minty. And Minty does like all of these videos, like 10 things you didn't know about enter whatever movie here.
Mm.
And he did one on Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. And one of the things that they talk about is if you've seen this movie, everyone else, with the exception of let's see, Christian Slater, um, Morgan Freeman, Kevin Costner, and there's a couple others, they all have British accents. And of course, Robin Hood, I guess technically, is supposed to have a British accent. Well, you notice that Kevin Costner isn't doing one because they said his British accent was so bad
Yeah.
that they just told him not to do one.
They reference that. Have you seen Robin Hood
Men in Tights?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's like, unlike other Robin Hoods, I speak with a British accent.
Ooh. And everybody does that too.
Yeah. I was I love the movie for what it is, because it is a good movie.
Oh yeah.
I love Alan Rickman. Alan Rickman steals the show in that fucking movie as the Sheriff of Nottingham. And I mean, I just love Alan Rickman. Period. He's such a good actor. I loved him in Dogma. He
I
was so good.
love David Chappelle in Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Blinken. Did you say Abe Lincoln? No, I said Abe Blinken.
Oh man, I could quote every line from that movie. I've seen that. That was one of the ones I watched like 800 times in my childhood.
I love the part when the castle's getting repoed, and Blinken was in the bathroom, and he hears his voice, and he runs into a statue. He's like, "You lost your arms in battle, but you grew
Oh, yeah.
some nice boobs."
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
That's not my favorite Mel Brooks movie,
Oh
but
no.
it is a Mel Brooks movie, and I'm a huge fan. So like, it definitely, not one of his best, still easily fits into my category of one of my favorites.
The first half I think is solid, and then it just loses its momentum. That's my problem with it. Like it becomes like you can tell the second half was like rushed, or maybe even the last fourth. I would say, but up till then, I think it's a really good movie.
I think a lot of his movies kind of had that problem
Yeah.
where like Spaceballs was kind of like that. But if you even go back to Blazing Saddles,
I love Blazing Saddles.
That's
But
his
they-
best, I think.
it's in my opinion, it's his best movie. But think about it, they didn't even know how to finish that movie.
Oh, when they go in the studio and all that.
They turn they do a what is it called when you have the not a you have a facade. They do a
Yeah.
facade town and blow them up, and then they start fist fighting, and then it goes out of the movie into the movie theaters where they're premiering the movie, and then they keep on fighting into the sets of other like it's absolutely ridiculous. And then they wound up how did they end? They wind up riding off into the sunset in Hollywood.
Oh, and then they get off their horses and get into the limo. Remember?
Right.
Yeah.
But they're still riding off into the sunset.
But I think they did that so close to the end of the movie that I think it worked out.
oh sure, it's a beautiful mess. But I'm just saying that like they didn't even know how to. I just believe that Mel Brooks is a great comedy writer, but I don't think he ever really figured out how to write a movie.
Yeah. Oh, the producers though, that one is good from
Amazing.
start to finish. That one's like has good pacing on everything.
yeah. I'll take it back. He's not he doesn't write terrible endings for all of his movies. That's for sure. Young
I-
Frankenstein, I think, is a great example of him.
Oh, that one was so good. I'm just a big fan of Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
I mean, but to me, his greatest role will always be Willy Wonka.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know. I really liked what was it, the Sunset Kid or whatever the character he played in Blazing Saddles was a brilliant character.
oh
Oh yeah, I
yeah,
like him.
definitely. But I mean, I'm just saying. To me, like,
When he's like, what do you like to do for fun? He's like, play chess, screw. He's like, oh, well, let's play chess. You know.
um,
Are we awake? I'm not sure. Are we black? Yep, we're black. Then we're awake, but we're very confused. I love that line.
it's
All
like,
the while, he's laying sideways in a prison cell bunk, sideways, hanging upside down, backwards.
Yeah.
it's like I said, I've seen them. I've seen Blazing Saddles quite a few times. I absolutely love the movie. It's so good, and it's so funny to watch. It's just one of those that it definitely has stood the test of time.
Oh yeah.
Um, did anyone else like Raising Arizona?
I don't think I've seen that.
That is a crazy movie. It's-
Nicolas Cage movie from not the early '90s, Jello, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I want to say late '80s. I think it's
Yeah, because
early-
it was a very young Nicolas Cage in that movie.
and John Goodman.
Oh yeah, that's right. If you like Nick Cage movies, Vladimir, you should definitely watch Raising Arizona.
Okay,
Uh,
I've heard of it. I've heard like people mention it, and
his recent endeavors I have not really watched. I still have to watch that movie that he did just recently that
oh
was
no,
based
I
what
know what you're gonna say. The Five Nights at Freddy's thing.
yeah.
Not the bees.
Oh, which one is that one? That's
Wicker Man.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. I'm sorry. I as much as I love Nick Cage, I prefer the original version of the Wicker Man. A lot.
Think.
Well, obviously, yes.
Yeah, no, Nick Cage is terrible. He kind of destroyed that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I actually liked Con Air.
I
I'll
knew. I
say
thought
it.
you were gonna mention it at some point.
Yeah.
Con Air wasn't bad, but I think it wasn't. He was not the one that made that movie.
Oh
That
no.
The
movie
villain
could have been
did.
great with anyone playing his role. There were other roles that were more important in that movie.
Steve Buscemi's character was one of the best parts in that movie.
Who was the villain in
Fuck.
Con Air again? He was the. You're saying he's the star of the show, kind of, in that one?
I think so, if I remember correctly. I don't know. Steve Buscemi was really good though.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just like his character was like Hannibal Lecter meets like creepy old guy at the mall, kind of like, except I guess more mentally insane. And of course everyone here has seen Die Hard.
Oh yeah.
Did you like any of the rest of that series?
Yeah, I think it. You feel like it's like, oh, how many times can you do this? But I think it does it pretty well. And if you look at it like a
If you
Christmas
like
movie,
mindless action movies, if you're into explosions and everything and whatnot, I think every Die Hard holds up.
and it
is
counts as
what
a
it is.
Christmas movie too.
And the first one is definitely a Christmas movie.
Yes, thank
everybody
you.
should watch it. And it's a problem though, right? We're gonna have to make a definitive list, and we're gonna have to get rid of. I don't think Miracle on 34th Street is necessary anymore. I think it's too far removed and out of touch. I think Baby It's Cold Outside is more timely than Miracle on 34th Street. No, just don't. I just look. We only have so much time in Christmas Day, and there's too many holiday movies to watch them all in a 24-hour period. And ain't no one staying up that long. Y'all know what happens. Santa won't come.
Yeah.
So you can't watch them all. So you got to pick. You gotta have Die Hard. You got to do Gremlins. Who's not watching The Christmas Story?
Oh, yeah,
Christmas-
definitely. You got to watch Christmas Story.
That
It's a
or Christmas
major
Vacation.
award. Christmas Vacation, Chevy Chase. Well, okay, well, see, what about Bad Santa? What about Bad Santa? If you want a funny fucking Christmas movie, I say you can toss Christmas Vacation and put in both Bad Santas.
I really didn't like the Bad Santa movies.
Jesus Christ, how? No, I don't mean, I'm sorry, I should. But how? Why don't you like those? They were brilliant.
I mean, they were funny, yes. I guess because see, when it comes to Christmas movies, like I have my set list. I have A Christmas Story, I have Die Hard, I have A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Are you sure? Is that really a Christmas movie or is it a Halloween?
Oh, it's
movie?
both.
It's
I
both.
always say it's both.
Okay, because I watched that one for Halloween. I there's not a lot of. I got the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. I got that one, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, most of the I'm not gonna watch the whole Halloween series. I just won't do it. And which one are you supposed to pick? So I just screw all that off. I don't watch a lot of Halloween movies because there's just too many to pick from.
Yeah. I usually choose the funny ones, as if that's, I don't know if that's sacrilegious or not, to choose the funnier ones over the scarier ones, you know?
No, I'd say it's definitely up to personal taste.
Oh, definitely. Like around, I mean, I like to watch horror movies, pretty regularly. It's like I've told, and with it coming up, actually, it was about a year ago. I went on Brand's Bloody Breakdown, which if you don't subscribe to that channel, Vladimir, Brand is one of the hosts of the Geek Room. He's he tells me not to sully his good name with telling him how awesome he is. So he's the coolest asshole, one of the coolest assholes that I know out that I've met while I've been doing this. But we love Bran around here, and all of our buddies over at the Geek Room. They're really good to us, and we love them a lot. But Bran does an amazing job with going
Even
over.
Billy?
Huh?
Even Billy?
I guess I could say that I love Billy in a certain way. I don't know. He's weird. Gives me shit a lot, but I just deal with it. Take it on the chin and keep going. But yeah, but fuck Billy. But yeah, definitely if you like horror movies and Brand knows his shit. He really does. So yeah,
I've really been wanting to review Dexter, the new Dexter series. So
I tell you what I'll do then, Jello.
I want to do it with Bran.
Oh, well, I was going to say I was going to watch it too, and if you wanted to talk about it, I would definitely do it. But I want to do like I want to do like a scene by scene breakdown of the whole series once it's over, and I think and I mean of all the people I know, that Bran just seems like. Are they doing it like one episode at a time, or did they release it like
one episode at a time? Actually, we didn't watch this week, so we got an episode of Dexter to watch.
I'm going.
Sundays. It comes out Sundays.
I will probably wait until it's completely out before I watch it. That way I can just kind of immerse myself in it. But I'm definitely going to watch it.
Without spoiling anything for you, I'll say I enjoyed Dexter very much. Even the parts of it that I didn't enjoy very much, that last season was painful.
Oh yeah.
As a fan, that last season was painful. But even the season before, it wasn't great. But anyway, this series really seems to be holding up so far. I'm really enjoying it.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I haven't seen Dexter, but it's on my list of things to. It just all Are they still making it? Like, is it still going? Like, should I start
They
now to?
well, they just they like it's a new series.
Oh,
They
okay.
It's like a new series. Like I don't know, 9 years later. I mean, it's a decade later in the movie, but I think it's or in the they're talking like it's been a decade, but I think it's been like actually 8 years since the series ended, something like that.
I think it is. Um, I'm oh shit, what was that? I can't think of it now. Oh yeah, True Blood. Anyone watch it?
True Blood.
I really enjoyed it actually. I like series better than movies, and True Blood is one that I've actually watched like 3 times.
I have not. I mean, I haven't watched it in a while, but I wasn't really. The ending seemed a little off to me. Um,
Made me angry.
oh yeah, definitely. It made me almost as angry as the end of Lost. Um, and
Well, no, that's different. Lost, like, do you remember what happened specifically to Lost?
what at the end?
Well, no, but to the writers.
Oh, it was the writer's strike.
Yeah. The same thing that happened to Lost was the same thing that happened to my favorite series ever, Heroes.
I
Which
never watched that.
it was great until the very end, and it trails off, and you're like, "What the fuck?" The answer is writer's strike. That's what happened to some really, really great shows.
Hmm.
I was actually one series that I really got into was Sons of Anarchy. Um, I I enjoyed the story. Like the story was was always consistent. Um, the cast for every season was, I mean, while of course the club pretty much stayed the same, except moving forward, of course, members were were taken off, but you had people like Henry Rollins come on for a season. Marilyn Manson was in the last season of it.
Hmm.
Um, Tom Arnold makes a few appearances. David Hasselhoff makes an appearance. Um, and it was just a really good show. Um, couple of the seasons were kind of hit and miss as far as the story goes, looking back on it. But if you haven't watched that, either one of you, if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. It is really good. And you once again, you've got a great cast. You've got Charlie Hunnam. Um, let's see, Katie Siegel is in it. Peggy from Married with Children.
Hmm.
Ron Perlman is
Oh,
in it. Ron Perlman does an amazing job in the show.
that's exciting. I like his acting a lot.
Oh, he's very. I mean, his character. The only place I know you can find it, if you have Hulu, watch it. It's on Hulu. Um, but his character is one of those that you will absolutely begin to despise.
Mm.
Um, he has a small moment of saving grace, but that quickly fades.
Right.
So yeah, if you go and watch it, which once again I highly recommend it, especially if you love Ron Perlman, he does a really good job. Just be prepared to hate him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be like a fiery, like a white flame hatred
Yeah.
that you will eventually develop for his character. But Henry Rollins was excellent in the second season. Believe it or not, Henry Rollins plays a white supremacist. And he's very, he's very anti-racist and everything, and to see him play a role like that was shocking
Yeah.
because I'm like, wow, you agreed to play this role.
Yeah, but
I
it makes he plays it so perfectly because so many years in the punk scene, like he knew the role he was playing.
oh
You know
yeah,
what I mean? You don't have to live a role to like if you live around these guys, you know what I mean? Like he definitely it was he did yeah, I don't know. I saw that. I watched some of it, but I have a personal bias against bikers, outlaw bikers specifically. So I really couldn't get into it. I just
what what's the bias?
they are the scum of the earth.
Okay. I mean,
Oh,
I've known a few in my time, and they were. I mean, I didn't like go to parties or anything. I just knew them and like hung out with them a few times. They were always really nice to me. So I
I
mean, but I
mean,
don't.
well, yeah, you sound white.
There's not a lot of bikers in my area, so I haven't really met a
I
lot.
don't. I don't have a hatred for bikers. Understand?
Yeah.
The outlaw bikers are a special breed of degenerate.
Yeah. Where do you are they like coastal mostly or something?
Oh no, they're like from what I know, as because I there was a series on the History Channel back when the History Channel was actually worth watching,
Right.
called Gangland,
I've
and
heard of it, yeah.
oh, if you've never watched episodes of that, that's very interesting to watch. Um, and they did a lot of episodes on biker gangs. Like they would talk about the Hell's Angels, the Pagans, the Outlaws. Who else? The Sons of Silence, Galloping Goose. A lot of these outlaw MCs,
Mm.
and they're like they're not. A lot of them are not coastal. Like I know the one episode I watched on a group called the Sons of Silence. They're based out of Colorado.
Mm.
Um, there's and of course, I mean you're outside of like your bigger ones. You're going to have like the smaller ones, and of course, I mean those can be anywhere in the country. But like the bigger ones, like yeah, Hell's Angels started out in California
Mhm.
and then has worked its way all over the world. Um, but yeah, it's the episode. I mean, a lot of the episodes, like the earlier seasons of that series on the History Channel, were really really good. Um, like the episodes on the biker gangs, the street gangs, the neo-Nazi gangs, things like that. It is very interesting. So if you like old stuff, like docu series and stuff from the History Channel, once again when it was worth watching,
Mhm.
then definitely go check it out. Um, and Jello, I do want to point out, yes, you are correct about his character, because it just made me think of a lot of the spoken word and interviews and stuff that I've watched with him over the years. Because he always talks about seeing the skinheads at Black Flag shows and getting in fights with them all the time.
Yeah, well, they're Black Flag and Hank's early solo stuff was all hardcore,
Oh yeah,
and hardcore shows are always attended by some racist people. I just
Yeah.
always
Like
not
Rage
all,
Against the Machine too. They get a lot of people who don't know what they're signing up for, right?
oh, I mean, I mean, I love that band a lot. No, I know if you know anything about Rage Against the Machine, then yeah, you pretty much know what you're walking into when you get there.
I mean, his lyrics are pretty right there.
Yeah,
Like
they're
his politics are right there in the lyrics. So like I doubt a lot of people would pay for a Rage Against the Machine ticket that wasn't into them.
right.
I think a lot of people. I think everybody that doesn't pay too much attention to the lyrics. They're like, they hear a song, they're like, oh yeah, this stands for what I stand for, and then they don't realize that no, like, because they're like, they don't really, they hear the message of like, oh, defiance or whatever, and they just don't read into it too much, or oh,
Well, when it comes to like especially like political stance and everything like that, especially when it comes to music, um, I think it's important to look back through everything. Like if you like, for me, it came through punk rock. Like
mhm,
when I first got into punk rock and I got into the Dead Kennedys, and there's a band called Anti Flag. I was really into their first early records. Um, like they were basically just in your face with it. It's
yeah,
just like, this is the way. Like if you can't see it, if you can't see this, then here, go and do your homework. you know. But when I got into Rage Against the Machine, like I actually started looking into some of the causes that they actually um, would, help have a voice for, like the American Indian movement,
mhm,
Mumia Abu Jamal, his wrongful incarceration, which, I mean, of course, he's still in prison. Um, you know, uh, Standing up against like the WTO and all of that. That's where I started hearing more about it, and of course, became more prevalent when I got into the Dead Kennedys, because I also started listening to their front guy Jello Biafra. I actually was listening to a lot of his spoken word.
right,
So, but yeah, and Jello did make a good point. I mean, I mean, now I, of course, like, I didn't get to I didn't see things like that at like punk shows that I went to.
right,
But yeah, I mean, just the stories that I've heard from, like, I got to meet, Michael Graves from the Misfits, and uh, he was telling us, me and some of my friends, he was just telling us stories about when they would be on the road, and um, they would even run into them at like their shows. I'm just like, are you know, to be honest with you, I'm not quite sure how like the skinheads are walking into those shows, because they should know the majority of the crowd is going to be completely against them,
yeah.
and how they're walking out is amazing.
Because
Why they would want to walk into a Dead Kennedy show confounds me. Like, they've got a black drummer and a gay singer. Like, is that really what
I don't think Jello's gay.
as a neat what?
I don't think Jello's gay, is he?
Jello's very gay.
Oh, I didn't. Oh,
Jello's very, very gay.
I was not aware. I was not aware of that.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. I just, it seems like if I was one of those, like a racist neo-Nazi kind of skinhead sort of person, I would think I would just not want to support that band with my money.
right.
Like, I think just not buying that ticket would be, this. I don't know. And they love it when you yell "Seek help." Seek help. Seek
I remember that.
Yell it over them. That's funny.
But like all these bands, they tell politicians that they don't, because like politicians will play their songs at rallies and they'll be like, "Why are you like we are on complete opposite sides?" And so there's like plenty of people that fall for like like not fall for it, but like they don't realize that they're like plenty of people just aren't reading the clear message that are in the songs, and they're like
Right.
they're just saying, "Oh, this sounds like it's." I wonder if they even screen it before. They're like, "Oh, it's just has a strong message, so it'll
Okay.
get people pumped up."
Right. Well, you bring up an interesting point, talking about like the musicians and the politicians. Um, Incident back in the '90s, and I know Jello will probably know what I'm talking about. With a band that Ice-T put together called Body Count,
Hmm.
and they put out a song called "Cop."
In the house.
They put out a song called Cop Killer.
Mm.
And like basically like the FBI and the federal government and all of that, they started shitting their pants.
Right.
And they like immediately went on the defensive. Um,
A lot of stores stopped selling the record.
yep.
So what they did was they made another version of the record where they cut the song Cop Killer off of it entirely, and they put in 2 other tracks. One at the beginning, a little skit called Smoked Pork.
Oh
and,
boy.
and later in the album, they have Freedom of Speech, which is an old Ice-T song, only they add the backing track of Jimi Hendrix guitar from Foxy Lady. Boom, 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 boom. So it's just the same Ice-T rap song, but with this really awesome guitar lick over it. And I'm telling you, listen to both versions. Go to YouTube, pull up Ice-T Freedom of Speech, and then pull up Body Count Freedom of Speech. The only difference is that guitar lick, and it's so much better.
Does
it's
it
a
fit
world
well?
better.
Like, does it fit well? The Jimi
Oh,
Hendrix?
it's great. It's perfect. It's beautiful. Check it out.
Ice-T actually sampled one of Jello Biafra's spoken word pieces on I can't remember which record it was, but it was his little speech about
So what they're really trying to do with this Walter McCarran Act, right?
Do what now?
That's the speech, isn't it?
No, it's
right at the end of one of his tracks.
We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin. America is now under martial law.
Oh no, okay. I'm thinking of something. I think it's a Body Count song that I was thinking of. I think they actually use them on a Body Count song as well.
I think they do. I think they actually did like a track with him at one point. Now I'll tell you a record that I have listened to that is really good, and the sales of the record were for a good cause. And this goes back to Henry Rollins, and that was the benefit record they did for the West Memphis 3. Because what they did was they went back and they did the Rollins band basically did covers of or played Black Flag songs, and they had all these different vocalists come in to sing the songs for them. And Henry Rollins did a couple of them himself. They got Lemmy from Motorhead to do it. They got Tom from Slayer was on the record. I think they got Chuck D. Ice-T did one, I think. But all the money from that record went towards their defense fund, every dime. And they actually went out and did I think they did a few live shows of the record, or not of the record itself. I think it was mostly like Henry up there, doing the old Black Flag set like back in the day, which I would have loved to have seen. I haven't gotten the opportunity to see him do his spoken word, and I had never got the opportunity to see him play live, and I always wanted to.
I'm near Seattle, so I've passed on a few opportunities. I don't know. I just I'm not too into spoken word. I don't mind poetry slam or slam poetry.
Yeah,
I don't mind that. I used to actually take part in that when I was young. I don't mind. I love stand-up comedy, but
do you like his music?
Some of it, yeah. I really like all of his songs that ever got really popular at all, like that Liar song.
Yeah, from the Rollins band. That was their only song I think that ever really got big.
It's possible.
But that album, Wait, that song is on, that whole record is amazing. I love his of course I love his Black Flag days. If if you want to hear Black Flag do something completely different, and this is when Henry was still part of the band, they put out an actual like an instrumental record called "The Process of Weeding Out,"
Hmm.
and it's actually
They're trying to dump off some of their old fans.
do what?
They were trying to dump off some of their old fans.
I don't know, to be honest with you.
You make an all instrumental album called "The Process of Weeding Out." Sounds like they're trying to dump some old fans.
Uh, I but I do. I love his Black Flag stuff. Damaged and My War are two of my favorites. His spoken word is awesome.
I love the way My War starts.
Oh
Just
yeah,
that scream, My War.
but it's such a good record, especially the B side. The B side is where you get all that really low toned, grooving, like the one thing that I've always heard about a lot of these sludge bands from around New Orleans and everything, especially when it comes to bands like I Hate God and Down and Acid Bath and all this shit. Um, two two things they always mention is the B side to Black Flag's My War and Gluey Porch Treatments from the Melvins. Those are the two things that they always mention.
You say sludge? Is that like a genre, right?
Well, yeah, but what it is, they termed it that because of basically where it comes from, which is around New Orleans, Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
The Melvins the Melvins were a huge influence on what sludge is, because the Melvins put out a lot of really low tuned, slow grooving records that were really, really amazing. Like the Lysol EP is a prime example of that. But when you in the B side to My War has a lot of that on it. Like it was really, really different than a lot of the more original Black Flag stuff, because the original Black Flag stuff was like just straight up hardcore from that time, because you had bands like Black Flag and Bad Brains and Minor Threat, playing that style of punk.
Mm-hmm.
But the sludge sound I think the philosophy of it is best described by a band called Crowbar. Tune low and play slow, and that's exactly what it is. There's a lot of upbeat kind of songs, but there's a lot of groove and a lot of soul to them.
Okay.
But then when you get to like you take a band like Down has got a lot of groove and a lot of soul to it when you listen to it. But then you look at a band, let's say like let's take I Hate God, for example. Like there's some upbeat stuff here and there, but a lot of it is just slow grooving, really low tuned stuff. And it's really, if you love, to me, if you love groove in your music, regardless of the genre, because there's a lot of music out there that's got a lot of groove to it, and I love it. But when it comes to that style of metal, if you like stuff like that and you've listened to things like the Melvins and all of that, kind of see where it comes from, it's definitely worth checking out.
When you say groove, you're talking about like a lot of bass and like bass
Well,
lines and stuff like that.
Like that, but or even with the guitar. Like, I mean, look at a band like Pantera. Pantera had an amazing amount of groove to them.
Right.
And pretty much all of it stemmed from Dimebag on the guitar. Like that's where that and then of course you've got Vinny and Rex with him, and I mean it all blends together. But I mean they're pretty much following Dime as far as like the groove to it goes.
Right.
But a lot of the riffs he wrote, like if you go and listen to songs like Heresy, and then Walk and Mouth of War and I'm Broken and stuff like that, the riffs and the solos, I mean that's what it is. But then like but I mean go even further back, you have a band like Black Sabbath. Black
Mhm.
Sabbath had a lot of grooves to them, like especially when you hear songs like NIB or Fairies Wear Boots or the Wizard or Sweet Leaf. Um, you can hear things like that.
Mentioned two of my favorite of their songs, "Sweet Leaf," of course, and
Absolutely.
"NIB" is a brilliant song.
I love, and I mean, my first exposure to Sabbath was, of course, Iron Man. But then I heard Paranoid and Black Sabbath the first time, and I immediately fell in love with them. But when I heard I mean, I love Black Sabbath, but the first time I heard NIB, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And it's awesome. Um, but yeah, I mean, and a lot of that groove will come from around the '70s, because you had Jello. Help me out here. You had what, like Black Sabbath, MC5, Led Zeppelin, Floyd.
You had the Painted Black by Rolling Stones. They say that's a. You think that's a big influence on punk?
On, on punk.
That's
Well,
a. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'll let Jello answer that.
The I mean, I've seen a lot of documentaries. A lot of people claim that. I think, to me, the biggest influence of pre-punk turning into punk would have been a number by the MC5
Absolutely.
called "Kick Out the Jams."
And they were the ones who originally wrote. Well, I don't know. I could be wrong on that. Did they write "Summertime Blues"?
I would.
Summertime Blues is the Who, isn't it? Or no? Wait, are we talking about the same Summertime Blues?
I think we're all thinking of the same song.
Well, there ain't no cure for the summertime blues.
The one they played at Woodstock, right?
I think so.
It says Alan Jackson. Is he?
No, he
part of-
cover. No,
Oh,
he's
whoops! Yeah, it's a cover, huh?
yeah, it's a cover, a terrible cover at that. It's dog shit. It's absolute dog shit.
Eddie Cochran.
There it is.
But if you've never heard that song, "Kick Out the Jams," I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Vladimir, we all need to find each other on Discord.
Yeah.
Because I can
kick out the jams, motherfucker.
But no, it's like well, let me ask you this. Like Vladimir, like who do you like to listen to?
I'm a big 70s music fan.
There you go.
And I like
Your
Cream.
parents raised you right.
Yeah. I like Cream a lot. I like Led Zeppelin, especially their blues.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
Alice Cooper's my favorite.
I like Janis Joplin. I only recently got into her, but
oh my God, you're 24 years old and you're into that shit. Your parents did raise you right. Next time you talk to them, you tell them I said bravo.
Because my dad, he was at Woodstock, but he said it was just completely muddy. It was awful. He went to a ZZ Top concert. They actually bailed him out of jail because his friend was smoking a blunt in the car, and
ZZ Top bailed him out.
Yeah, and then he went to a Rolling Stones concert. He had money back then. He bought out the 13th row. Then he went to the recent concert in the area, which was like I don't know, like several decades apart, like bookends to someone's life, seeing the Rolling Stones when you're a young man and seeing them now, many years later.
Oh, absolutely.
I saw them on the Steel Wheels tour, and it was the first really big rock show I'd ever seen. And it was where I decided I didn't like really big rock shows. I don't like it when you can't see the band. I want to be able to spit on the band members if I'm not enjoying it. Like, that's really the thing. If I can't at least take a swipe at the guitarist, I don't know if it's what I would call a good show.
Right.
Now, and Jello does make a good point. Now, I've been to arena shows, quote unquote arena shows. Um, believe it or not, I'm actually a fan of Hootie and the Blowfish.
Arena shows aren't that bad. Stadium shows are not
Oh
worth
yeah,
the money you have to pay to go see them at all. They're just
that's well, that's definitely what I've heard.
Yeah.
the audio is terrible. You can't see the people unless they have those big screens. And then if that's the case, why not just watch it from home?
I completely agree.
The sound, though, the audio experience is
Oh yeah, the
person.
acoustics echoing back at you a million times because everybody knows how great baseball announcers sound.
Right. The Rolling Stones in my area, they stopped at the or wait, it's a hockey rink now, but it was an opera house, and they stopped and did a concert there just because it was such nice acoustics in there. But I mean, it's still the same building, so
Well, see, I like going to now if I can make it work, I'll go to an arena show. Like I saw and Jello's heard me talk about this. I saw Pantera back in 2000. I was right at the guardrail for the whole show. It was amazing.
That must have hurt.
Do what?
I must have hurt being right at the guardrail. I've had some good bruises on my chest from guardrails.
Oh man, I was sore as a motherfucker the next day. Believe me, but it was totally fucking worth it. I saw Disturbed live, and I was front row center at the guardrail, and this was like general admission standing, and I'm like dead center.
Yeah, I saw the In Utero show. With the heart-shaped box and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And
great record.
Dancing right along in front of the stage, just slam dancing. But yeah, it was general admission right up front. It was, and back then you actually would a lot of times you would pay less for general admission because there was no seat.
Typically, what I've paid for general admission has been around $40.
There was a switch from the late 80s to early 90s. It went from $25 to $40. That was the exact jump. And that was Ticketmaster.
Yeah, of course, because Ticketmaster's got to get theirs.
Here's the thing, though, man. Ticketmaster kept prices down. Like everybody in the 80s, people were bitching about how much concert tickets cost. I can't believe I have to pay $25 to go see a show. And when it went up to like $40 in the 90s, and people were like, "This is outrageous," and it's all because whatever, they have this monopoly, and it's not fair. And then as soon as it opened up, you can't go see a show for less than $110 anymore.
Well, now when I will see that, and there's another that brings up an interesting point as well. That's why I like going to club shows. I like going to shows
Cover price.
Yeah, and it's typically about $20-$25.
Used to be about $5, but you know what? That's inflation. That's natural inflation, and that's what? A lot of the places I go is the cover's still around $5. As I go to some shitty places, folks. I go to dives
again. You're Ron for that, but anyway. No, like when I've gone to club shows, like let's see. I saw Unknown Henson play at a little dive club. saw I Hate God, saw Corrosion of Conformity. Um, who else? I think. Oh, I've seen Mayhem. I paid, but see, I paid about, I think it was like $40 for that Mayhem ticket. But the other places that I've been to see bands, even like, like I Hate God, and even the original trio of Corrosion of Conformity from 1985, I paid $20 to get in
Hmm.
at the door. That was it.
I mean, I love concerts. I love the nuance of live shows. So like, I'll enjoy, if I enjoyed the album at all. For me, it's only like, it's like the introduction. The album is like the introduction to the live experience. For
Oh,
me,
absolutely.
I go and see bands that I really enjoy. I've seen Alice Cooper like 5 times. I 4 times. I've seen Alice Cooper a lot of times. I really enjoy, and so I'll go to a bar to see a show. I'll go to an outdoor venue. I'll go to an arena show if I get one chance in my life to go see Rage Against the Machine and they're playing at fucking, I don't know what, Soto. Yeah, I'll go.
Oh yeah.
Didn't they tour recently? Or
No, they were supposed to do a few shows around the Southwest area, and then COVID hit. From what I
I'm not trying
understand,
to go see Prophets of Rage either. I'm sorry. I love Be
no.
Real. I love Chuck B, but both of them together sure the hell ain't Zach De La Rocha.
Oh no, no, no. Now I would have gone to see Audio Slave when their first record came out. Did you like that at all, Jello?
Uh, yeah, I would. It's not. I don't know. I don't. No, it's not. No.
That was one of the vaguest answers that I've ever got.
Well, I mean, that's Chris Cornell, right?
Yeah, yeah. It
Yeah,
was
I like Chris Cornell, but like,
Soundgarden, Chris
yeah,
Cornell.
yeah.
You know,
I
I,
really
I
like a lot of the stuff he did with other people. I didn't really care for Temple of the Dog very much.
oh, that's a great record though.
Not to me. Not to me. I really think Vetter does a lot to ruin it. Even that song,
Hunger Strike.
Hunger Strike. I just wish Vetter wasn't part of it.
Um, I didn't like Cornell's solo stuff. I didn't. It didn't seem. He's got a great voice. Don't get me wrong. I love the man, but I just didn't like it. It didn't do anything for me. Like Soundgarden was the Cornell that I knew. That
Do you
I
know Loud Love? It's like the first album that I'm aware of. It's a really good album. It's a great Soundgarden album. The great Soundgarden album. It's way better than Bad Motorfinger, which is amazing. Exactly, Melissa.
I still haven't listened to that Mad Season record that Lane Staley did.
Do you know Cheech and Chong songs at all?
A few. I can't
You know
remember the
Earache
name.
My Eye?
Yeah.
My mama talking to me, trying to tell me how to live, but I don't
Mhm.
listen to her because my head is like a sieve. Soundgarden covers that song on
What?
that first album. It's either that or the live version. I know they do it on the live version, but I think it's on the album as well. But the live version is louder than live. But
Okay.
I believe it's all on YouTube anyway.
Oh yeah. Dude, I've come across things from bands that I never knew existed just by sheer accident because of YouTube. Good example would be now, of course, I like a lot of that old 90s like gangster rap,
yeah.
and of course, I love Tupac. My favorite record by him is All Eyes on Me. And somebody, I don't know who did it, but they did a remix of "Staring at the World Through My Rear View," and they mixed it with "In the Air Tonight" by Phil Collins, and it's amazing.
I can't even imagine how it sounds.
You
It's
said a mashup.
um no, like they literally, it's like a remix. It's
There's
not a
some really
mashup.
good mashups out there. Have you heard of eh, DJ Cumberbund?
Mm-mm.
There's a guy on YouTube that does nothing but mashups. DJ Cumberbund. He did a really good mashup of Slayer and Rock Lobster by the B-52.
B-52s.
Oh, I'm seeing his channel now. Pretty Fly for Rasputin. Oh,
Um,
that looks good.
The channel's amazing. I'm telling you, that's like really check out his channel.
DM me a link to that channel. I'll check it out. There was one that I found. It was a mashup that was in, it blew me away, to be honest with you, and it was "Back in Black" by AC/DC mixed with "Staying Alive" by the Bee Gees. That was interesting, but
Sounds familiar.
it's so good. It's so good. Um, I've heard James Brown mixed with no, it wasn't. It was David Bowie and Pantera.
I'll tell you what. I'll put this in the private chat. Is there any way you could like put this link in your live chat? This is Play That Funky Music Rammstein.
Oh my god.
So it's actually what cherry cola, cherry pie, whatever the band the band that did Play That Funky Music, and
Wild Cherry.
and Wild Cherry. It's Wild Cherry and Rammstein doing Du Hast.
That's their best. That's the one everyone knows, I think, right?
I think it's a great mashup. I'm telling you.
Have you ever heard a Rammstein song sung in English? It's terrible.
Oh yeah, because they just, I don't know, like Du Hast is just you hate
You
me.
you hate me.
You said you hate me, and I didn't, or it's and ich habe nicht gefragt, like I didn't ask or something.
I
I
have
don't know.
not heard the name Screaming Trees in years.
I nearly lost you there. I saw them live. Rock Lobster.
This looks like, yeah, this channel looks fun. I
That
like
should be Grampy's theme song.
let's see, the sound of, oh, they do a what's this one? The Sound of Silence mashed with the All Star by Smash Mouth. That looks funny. I'll have to check this channel out. Yeah.
But no, another thing that I found now, one of my all-time favorite bands, and I even have their logo tattooed on my leg, is a band called Down. Phil Anselmo from Pantera. It's a project he put together back in the '90s, and got to see him live. Amazing, absolutely amazing. But I was listening to one of their records one night, and and one of my favorite songs by them is a song called "Stone the Crow," and I saw a video. It was just a poster, like a promotional poster was all the picture was, and it said "Stone the Crow Acoustic," and I thought it was a cover, and I clicked on it and I listened to it, and it was actually them doing an acoustic version of that song. I had never heard it before, didn't know it existed. And my God, I think I listened to that like at least a dozen times, just over and over and over again. It was so good.
You know, I had an experience like that about a long time ago. Ministry did a song that's really popular with Ministry fans, but Al hates it. It's called "Every Day is Halloween." It's one of my favorite Halloween songs. It goes on my Halloween playlist. Every Halloween playlist I've ever made, it goes on it. But he like if you bring up that his old shit in interviews, he'll like walk out on him. That's what he was known for years. He does not want to talk about his old new wave shit from the early '80s, right? Well, what was it? Last year, I think I was searching it. You know, I was gonna play it for Halloween, and I found a new version of it. And he's got a. Who was the guy that played guitar for Jane's Addiction?
Dave Lombard.
And he did the TV show Ink Master.
Dave.
Something, but you know the guy, right?
Dave Navarro.
Dave Navarro, right? He's in it. I mean, I don't know. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's a totally different sound, but the fact that he's finally doing the song again just makes me happy.
I I mean, cover versions of songs. I'm very picky when it comes to that because I think if you're going to cover a song, you need to pay respect to the original. I mean, if you want to put your own little twist on it, sure, that's one thing, but to just completely redo it and not give it the respect it deserves. Like I've heard some terrible Beatles covers, and I love the Beatles.
What about Black Flag's Louie Louie?
Oh, I loved that.
Nothing like the original.
Yeah.
Well, of course not. But I mean, what I mean is like, let's take a song like, what's one that I've heard?
Didn't Nirvana cover "The Sound of Silence" or someone covered?
No,
one?
Disturbed covered "The
Disturbed,
Sound of
okay, yeah.
Silence." Actually,
Nirvana
Disturbed.
covered a bunch of songs though. Where Did You Sleep Last Night?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. From Lead Belly. Yeah. That was great.
My Girl, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. My Girl. The Man Who Sold the World from Bowie.
That's the one. I. Some people prefer the cover, and I just think the original. Just I don't know. I don't think it
Lake
can be
of
beat, you know?
Fire is the Meat Puppets. Like,
Oh, yeah.
a bunch of
Yeah.
that album was covers.
Oh, yeah. The Unplugged album. Yeah. I like Aerosmith's cover of "Come Together."
Oh, so good.
I mean, there's nothing like the original, obviously, but
Do you know where that's from? That version of Come Together?
Mm-mm.
So if you like covers, this will be interesting to you. In the I don't remember if it was late 70s or I'm going to say late 70s. Might have been early 80s. I think late 70s. The Bee Gees did a movie called Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of this.
And it's an awful movie, right? But if you like the Beatles, it's the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band is a very popular album by the Beatles, and every single song on the album or every single song in the movie is done by different bands. You got Alice Cooper doing Because, you got Aerosmith doing Come Together. You got Steve Martin does Bang Bang Maxwell Silver Hammer, which is an amazing version. You should at least, if you don't want to watch the movie, at least go to YouTube and check out Steve Martin Maxwell Silver Hammer. Hilarious.
Like the actor Steve
Yeah,
Martin?
yeah, Steve Martin, yes.
Jim Carrey at one point, I saw a video of this. Jim Carrey actually did a cover of "I Am the Walrus."
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Oh, dude, it was
With an orchestra.
Yeah, it was so good. Because he's being Jim Carrey while he's recording it, and it's really, really good.
If you like funny, I've seen Richard Cheese live a few times, and he is he's a hoot to see live.
I've to be honest with you, I've never really been to I've never been to like a comedy show. Well, actually, I take that back.
No, Richard Cheese is a musician.
Well, I know, but like as far as like music and stuff goes, but actually, I think I can take that back because if you like Squidbillies, especially like the older seasons, like I do, I got to see Unknown Henson live, the guy who does the voice of Early Kyler, and he's got and he has songs like I Ain't Afraid of Your Husband and Foggy Winters. Uh,
Comedy, can fuck up anything when you're trying to make fun. You can do a cheesy version of anything and fuck anything up, but I think when done right, comedy just adds a good element to whatever you're doing it with, and music is no different. There's Scuzz Twitley. I would love to see him live. I definitely want to see Wheeler Walker Jr. live.
Fuck you, bitch.
They Might Be Giants is a fun band, and they definitely have some funny shit going on in their shows.
I love
the Bloodhound Gang. It's
God,
a laugh. I
so
see them live, but unless you're into pee, don't be close to the front.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I like what's that one of their newer songs that I listen to? What is it? Ain't My Job?
I don't know that one.
Ain't My Job.
I
to
really
fuck you on your
haven't
birthday.
listened to them much after like the first three, which is really a mistake because I love what is it? Foxtrot Uniform. I think that's a great song, and I just don't know anything else on the album. I know Untis, but I don't enjoy it. So
one of my favorite records by them has always been "Hooray for Boobies."
Hooray for Boobies is good. One Fierce Beer Coaster is great.
Oh no, but I would love to see them high. Actually, and I love "Hold Your Head Up High and Blow Your Brains Out."
Lift your head up high and blow your brains out.
They're the Discovery Channel song, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Bad
that's the one I
Touch.
know of them.
Bad
Yeah.
Touch, yep.
That's the song pretty much everybody by them knows.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, like, I never really listened to them much, and I'd heard that song, and then somebody told me to check out "Hooray for Boobies," and I listened to it from start to finish, and every song on that album is just amazing.
They do a song with Vanilla Ice.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Well, they call him by his actual name, right? Rob Van Winkle.
Rob Van Winkle.
Oh, I forgot that was his name.
The song is called Boom, and it's really good. And it's one of their songs that it's not nearly as funny. It's just more of a fun hip hop song. But I love it anyway. It's I really like the way Jimmy Pop Ali raps. I enjoy him a lot.
Oh God, what was
I was a huge fan of the Beastie Boys too, though.
Yeah.
I haven't, honestly, I think I just kind of got burned out on hearing the same song by them over and over again.
Yeah, but I had friends that not only was I a fan, I had friends that were fans, and we like dug on all their shit. You know what I mean? Like
Beastie Boys or Bloodhound?
The Beastie Boys.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So yeah, like I didn't listen to "Fight for Your Right to Party" as many times as you might think.
Honestly, now I didn't know this. This is an interesting little tidbit that I came across several years ago. On the track "No Sleep Till Brooklyn," the guitar riff, like the metal guitar riff that you hear in the background.
There's a lot of good samples in that song.
No, this wasn't a sample. This was actually a riff that was recorded by Kerry King from Slayer.
Okay. But they sample a lot of fucking hard rock from the 70s on that album.
That is true too. Now I did start getting into like their later stuff, like the Sabotage record and things like that.
Sabotage wasn't that late. I think that was like no, like their later stuff. I like Intergalactic Planetary.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
favorite of theirs.
They had like a couple albums after that one.
Oh yeah, I just never really listened to
That
them that much.
Sabotage, I want to say, was Sabotage on the second album, baby? Listen, all y'all, it's a Sabotage. Was it on Paul's Boutique? I don't know. Maybe it wasn't on Paul's Boutique. It might have been on the third album. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm totally being a dork now.
Oh no. That's you. That's always what happens around here. Um, I just never really listened to them that much. And
The thing about the way they trade in the middle of a line from one person to the next, the way they finish each other's thoughts, is a really amazing rap style that very few rap acts do well, and it's not for everybody, right? But I think they got. They were sort of shunned by the hip hop community for a lot of years because they were white boy rappers. You know, they were being represented by the likes of Vanilla Ice and oh my God, who were those two guys? Pop Goes the Weasel.
oh,
MC Search was one
yeah.
of them.
Don't make me lie to you, brother.
Oh, Christ. Anyway, there wasn't a lot to choose from, and the options that people were looking at wasn't great. So they like got thrown in that category of alternative music really early, and I really think that the Beastie Boys have done some of the greatest hip hop ever. Like they should be up there with some of the great names of hip hop.
Honestly, I mean, and I definitely would agree with you. Now that I've actually, listened to them more over the years than I used to. Honestly,
This album is brilliant. The songs that you've heard on it are the dumb ones. The Rhymin' and Stealin' is really good. Slow and Low. What's that one where they're talking about Alibaba and the 40 ounce and the 40 Rhymin' and Stealin' is that one. That's the one. It's a great album. The whole first album is really. Would you shut up? I'm online here. She just
she's taken over the stream.
She did a huge dab. I can't blame her.
What's the one? The Rad Shack something. They're naming like the three prophets or whatever. They're. You know that one, the one Beastie Boys song where they're talking about the three wise men. I mean, and like that's one of my favorites. Where they're what is it?
I don't.
They do so many references in so many songs.
The
Like
Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. That one, you know the one I'm talking about. That song, and then is that the what is that?
I don't even know the words you're saying, so it could be a song by theirs, and I might have just overlooked it because
It's just called Shadrach. Their song Shadrach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I know of the song.
Yeah, that's my favorite of theirs.
I really like. If I could recommend one song by theirs, I'm a fan of Mixmaster Mike. He's a great DJ, and at one point he joined the band for a while, which was actually kind of humorous because the band became two Mikes and two Adams. King Ad Rock is his first name is Adam. That's what the ad comes from, and MCA is MC Adam, and then Mike D. Right, his first name is Mike, and then Mixmaster Mike. So it was two Adams and two Mikes. and they do a song with Mixmaster Mike called Three MCs and
Yeah, I was
One
about to say,
DJ.
which one's the DJ? Is that the? I guess it's the Mixmaster, right?
Well, no. They were three. They're all MCs. They're all rappers.
Oh, okay.
But the DJ Mixmaster Mike joined their group, and Three MCs and One DJ is an amazing song. The video's really cool too. Mixmaster Mike kind of puts on a proton pack while wearing a Ghostbusters jumpsuit,
Nice.
and then walks out of his apartment into the basement studio apartment where they're just kind of hanging out, just standing and posing, waiting. And then he goes downstairs, takes off the proton pack, puts on a record, and then they start. There's no point to the proton pack whatsoever. I think Mixmaster Mike bought a new toy and just wanted to have it in the video. He's kind of a nerd.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nah.
I mean, they did a cameo in Futurama. Remember the? Did you see the episode they were in? Yeah.
Yeah, that they're when they did the voice for their heads.
Yeah, that was my first exposure to them. So, but I liked them ever since that.
I'll tell you, you want to talk about like mashups or putting two genres together. I'm a huge fan of Anthrax and Public Enemy's "Bring the Noise."
That was a lot of fun. And I'm the Man.
Oh, I'm the Man is great.
Not.
The first time I heard it, it was kind of off-putting because I'm just like, what exactly am I hearing right now? But then the more I listened to Bring the Noise, I was just like, this is really, really cool. And then when I heard I'm the Man, because honestly, I'd have to say that Anthrax is they're definitely one of the more different metal bands. Like you have them actually doing like a hip hop song on a metal record.
The first ones to do it.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, when they redid it, they say 1991, Always on the Run. 7 years ago, we wrote this one. That's the intro they made for that.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, we're talking 84 was, and I don't know. You can try to find earlier references of a metal band doing a rap song. I don't think you're going to find it.
I honestly, I don't even think that anything like that actually exists before then.
So all those new metal and all that, they all have Anthrax to thank.
Yes, I will agree with you. But a lot, see, that was one thing like about that particular era of music that kind of got on my nerves. You had all of them trying to, because you had Limp Bizkit come out and Linkin Park came out, which incidentally I do like the first two Linkin Park albums. But it's like they were all trying to copy each other in some form or fashion. It's just like, okay, we have to do it this way, it just seems like they were just kind of trying to carbon copy each other, like a lot of the pop punk that was coming out too.
Was Limp Bizkit they did the Chocolate Starfish, right? That's them?
Yeah, that's them.
Okay. I think that's the only album I know of theirs.
I know Jake really likes their first album, which was called $3 Bill, y'all.
I would like to recommend an album along this kind of music, right? Hip hop and metal.
Mm-hmm.
Except I get booed when I say it because people know the wrong stuff by this band. Sugar Ray's first two albums were really good. if you've heard of anything by them, maybe you saw an old episode of Beavis and Butthead where they did Mean Machine.
I think so.
But other than that, you've probably never. The only song off their second album you might have heard was I Just Wanna Fly. And that is the only song on that album that's like that. The rest of the album is actually good. They even cover an Adam and the Ants song, Stand and Deliver, which is one of my favorite Adam and the Ants songs. But it's way more... I don't know. It's so much better than their just pansy rock they started doing. It's just awful. They made a lot of money on that Fly song, though. I can understand why they started doing. What was that, like every morning?
Yeah.
Ugh, I hate that. That is not the Sugar Ray that I know and love. I saw them live back in the day when it was a lot of fun to see them. It was great.
Yeah, honestly, the only exposure to them that that I ever had was the bullshit that you were hearing on the radio.
Yeah, I swear that's not even close to the stuff that I like. I swear it's not what they did. That's not their first album at all. The first album is called Lemonade and Brownies, and it is so good.
I'll definitely have to look that up. I'm with
The cover art's really good too.
I've been trying to really dig back into a lot of older stuff that I've been meaning to, really get up on. I've got a friend of mine who's been trying to get me into Cat Stevens, and from what I've listened to, I'm just really not into it.
Like the Cats in the Cradle, that sort of stuff.
Well, I mean, I like that one, but like a lot of the other stuff I've heard, I've never really got into. My brother that I mention on here sometimes, he's been recommending a lot of Frank Zappa to me over the years.
Yeah, he's funny. He has a lot of comedy stuff,
I'm not sure, but I think this is the playlist for Lemonade and Brownies.
All right, I got it.
Getting a private chat. Sorry.
Oh, that's good. Well, guys, I think we've been going for about 3 hours now, so I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to wrap up for the evening. But I would like to thank everybody for coming by in the chat tonight. Ray, just see you there. Miss Melissa, thank you. Wanderer, Splicer, thank you for popping back into the chat. Know you got a lot going on right now. But Vladimir, definitely thank you for popping in with us. Would love to have you back anytime.
Sure.
And we'll definitely make that happen. I'll need to get Splicer to invite you over to the Discord, and we all need to stay in touch with each other. And Jello, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend.
You as well, sir.
Thank you for having me on. It was an honor.
The pleasure is all mine. And if you guys want to hang around after we wrap up, we can just all chill for a minute. But I will be posting for the next show coming up here in the next few days. As I said earlier, I've been laid up for the last couple of days with sciatica, so I will double check my schedule and everything when I go back to work tomorrow night, and I'll be announcing the next show. So everybody be watching the Discord and the Twitter for that. And if you haven't already, go ahead, like the stream. Really helps us out. Once again, hit that subscribe button, get the notification bell on, come and join us and all of our shenanigans here that we get into. So I will be in touch with everyone in the next few days, let you know when the next show is going to be, and so just be watching for that. But until then, my friends, as always, peace be with you.